The all-new truck of the year, the Chevrolet Colorado, has arrived at Drew Bay Chevrolet. Check out the all-new innovations in a mid-size truck, 305 horsepower and up to 26 miles per gallon highway. The best-in-class payload, towing, and the quietest ride on the road from any mid-size pickup. For the safest ride in a mid-size truck, look no further. High-strength steel frame, rolled form steel pickup box, 6 airbags, and new active security technology all combined to make your Chevrolet Colorado the right stuff. The Chevrolet Colorado at Drew Bay Chevrolet.
Flowell Electric wants their customers to be safe around electricity. And here's a few tips. First, don't use an electrical appliance around water. Another tip is to call Blue Stakes to have utility lines marked before you dig in your yard. And never damage power company equipment because it causes needless power outages, creates safety hazards, and results in higher power rates. Flowell Electric, a proud supporter of Millard High School.
At Level Pharmacy in Delta, health is wealth. Level Pharmacy offers drive-through service, delivery service, and compounding. Level Pharmacy isn't just a place to pick up your medications either. They have baby supplies, gifts and decorations, jewelry and purses, BYU ice cream, a soda fountain, Jackson Hole soda, candy, children's toys, a photo kiosk, and a wedding registry. Shop Level Pharmacy, where laughter is the best medicine, on Main Street in Delta.
The Intermountain Power Service Corporation is proud to bring you this presentation. IPSC is a community-minded company that contributes to our local schools, community organizations, and economy. The Intermountain Power Project consistently ranks among the best of America's coal-based power plants in reliability, cost-effectiveness, and environmental responsibility. Intermountain Power Service Corporation strives for perfection and is honored to be actively involved with Delta, Millard, and Juab High Schools.
The new Carl's Jr. Mushroom and Swiss All-Natural Burger. It's not for everyone. If you prefer wheatgrass juice over juicy grass-fed beef, it's not for you. If you prefer bland mushrooms over sautéed ones, it's not for you. But if you love all-natural beef topped with hand-picked mushrooms and natural Swiss cheese, then it's for you. The Mushroom and Swiss All-Natural Burger, only at Carl's Jr. Natural attributes refer only to the beef patty, mushrooms, and Swiss cheese for a limited time at participating restaurants.
Mountain Land Supply of Richfield is the Central Utah leader in plumbing, waterworks, turf, and ag irrigation. Mountain Land Supply features a beautiful showroom with brands you know and trust, like Moen, Delta, American Standard, Toto, Aquatic, LK, Growy, and more. They've also got what every farmer needs as a Valley distributor for all your agricultural supplies, from pivots and sprinklers to wheel lines and water troughs. Visit Mountain Land Supply Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. at 2104 South Red Hills Drive in Richfield.
Welcome back to the Sunrise Engineering pregame show. Snow College Engineer. Let's try this. You want to try it?
That's all right. We're going to get them all in anyway. Yeah. That's all right.
I apologize. Sunrise Engineering sponsors the postgame show. This is the Snow College pregame show. Get a quality education that's affordable and fun at Snow College. Snow College is one of the nation's finest transfer institutions. Snow College offers a quality education with campuses in Ephraim and Richfield. Visit snow.edu and find out all about them. Well, this is kind of a short season. We mentioned that Salem Hills and Millard both didn't have a lot of success last week. Delta went up to Salem Hills and lost 47-14, I believe.
Uh-huh.
Millard had Juab here and lost 37-14, or 7, and that was in 3 quarters. So...
Well, both teams obviously stepping up a classification. In fact, Delta jumped up a couple, and some people asked, what in the world were you doing scheduling Salem Hills? They have really come a long ways. I think this is their 8th year as a school. Beautiful facility up there. The school itself is it's just huge. And they've got great facilities all around, and I think they're somewhere in the neighborhood of 1,200 students. And when they came out on the field, they looked like a junior college type team. They had every part of the puzzle, it seemed like. And Delta just could not match the athleticism, the size, and Salem Hills scored, I believe, on their first 5 possessions. We just could not do anything to slow them down. Delta did some good things in the game. The second quarter, they sustained a drive of 89 yards, 10 plays, got a score, and it looked like vintage Delta, but they were so far behind, it was just hard for them to try and play catch-up like that. bright spots, obviously, and you'll talk about them in the game, is Delta's backfield. A little bit young, but they're coming along. Reagan Riding, you're going to see coming out of that two-back position. He is quick. He's quick up the sideline. He really can turn the motor on. And then you've also got a sophomore that we'll see some time tonight in Dallin Draper. And he is Brett Draper's son. Brett was one of the running backs for Coach Dean Fowles years and years ago. And he's got some quickness to the outside. Rhett Shamo will be one of the up backs. He showed some good promise. So there was some good things they did. It's just I'm sure Coach Fowles, once they got back home, said, listen, forget about that one. Let's gear up for our next one, and we'll see if we fix some things. And hopefully it'll be a little more competitive tonight.
Well, that's why you play your practice games, is to figure out where your liabilities are and try and fix them. Just for the interest of the fans, Dallin Draper that you talked about had 11 carries of 58 yards, averaged 5.27, so that's not shabby against that kind of competition. Jack Dutson, 9 carries. He's the quarterback, 9 carries for 11 yards. And you mentioned Rhett Shamo, 9 carries for 48 yards, 5.33, and Reagan Riding, 14 carries for 81 yards at 5.79. So they got good yardage, and their averages are excellent, 5.2, 5.7, 5.3. Well, you can't carp about that too much. That's pretty good statistics.
You really can't. And the thing about it is, though, with Delta football, and it's very similar, I'm sure, with Millard as well, they play the type of game that they want to control the ball, eat the clock up, and so you can't afford to get behind early or it takes you out of your game plan.
Yeah. Also in passing, Jack Dutson, 6 pass completions out of 10 attempts for 95 yards. That's good average at 15.83. Receiving, Dakota Dutson with 2, Jason Hatch with 1, Bo Nielsen with 1, Ridge Peterson with 1, Reagan Riding out of the backfield with 1, and Rhett Shamo also with 2. And, again, their averages are really good. So Delta able to gain quite a few yards offensively in that football game. On the other side of things, Millard kind of got locked into a buzzsaw also, but their statistics maybe not quite as beautiful as what some of what Delta did. Derek Brunson had 7 carries for 53 yards, but he had about a 70-yard touchdown run.
Wow.
So the rest of his carries were not too productive. He did average 7.57 per yard, but again, almost all of that on one run. In fact, more than that on one run. And the same thing for Daniel Whitaker, ends up with 2 carries for 23 yards, but again, he had a 25 or 30-yard touchdown run.
Wow.
The other carries were negative. The others involved, Kyler Rowley had 1 carry, I think no yardage. He got back the line of scrimmage, and Tyler Marshall with 2 carries for a -8. Really, Millard's running game just did not happen last week at all. They were really shut down except for the 2 runs that scored touchdowns. They had 14 points. So 2 runs, big runs for touchdowns, and that was it. Passing, Kyler Rowley, 2 completions on 8 attempts for 6 yards. And the receiving, of course, Garrison Beckstrand got 1, and Sebastian, that's got to be wrong, because if Sebastian Garcia caught it, it was an error. He's a lineman. Oh. And they never ran a tackle eligible, so I'm not sure who the other reception on that was. And so statistically for the Millard Eagles, offensively, they just generated no offense whatsoever last week.
Well, and the one thing about these two teams, they each know each other so well tonight. It's going to come down to who can execute the best here. Who's going to sustain the block the best? Who's going to carry out the fake? Who's going to do those? Good Lord. Holy cow.
You still in your shorts? You jumped clear over me.
You need to warn me about those kind of things. Blew my headset right off my head, Dennis.
It wasn't the headset I was worried about. It's where you were going. He about lit on my lap.
I thought the whole press box was coming down, folks.
I wish you'd had a camera on that one. They just
you better explain that, yeah.
Fired off the cannon. The National Guard brought in a mini cannon, and they fired it off as Millard came on the field. And
I think they knocked the goalpost halfway down, by the way. You're going to have to fix that before we get going.
I think they need to come and put a heart monitor on you. Holy cow. That was really something. Anyway.
They were taking my blood pressure at school today. They're kind of keeping an eye on me down there, thinking, hey, we got to make sure now that school's going, and it was pretty good.
It's not now.
Not now. Good night. You wouldn't even want to put the cuff on. You couldn't get it on my arm right now to measure it.
Well, with that, while we calm down and have his blood pressure checked again, let's go back to the studio for 3 minutes.
Rope
Roper Lumber in Fillmore is your full-service lumber yard, appliance center, and Ace Hardware store in Millard County. Whether it's a fix-it project, building a shed or addition, or just regular maintenance on the house, the friendly folks at Roper Lumber Ace Hardware are there to help. They also carry a wide selection of Whirlpool appliances, including stainless steel models at incredible prices. For all your hardware and lumber supplies, visit Roper Lumber Ace Hardware, 95 North Main Street in Fillmore.
The Fillmore City Mayor and City Council and staff members are excited about the Millard Eagles this sports season. They'd like to congratulate the Millard High School team members, the coaches, faculty, staff, and student body on a great season and wish them the very best in this year's playoff. The entire city fully supports education and athletics in molding the future leaders of our area. Fillmore City would like all involved to know that they're behind them 100%. Happy to be Millard Eagles Sports Booster. Fillmore City, go Eagles!
Millard County residents are accustomed to friendly service, quality grocery items, and convenient prices at Dwayne's Foodtown in Fillmore. Dwayne's Foodtown prides itself on providing the choicest cuts of meat in their meat department, assuring they offer the freshest produce available, and providing the best value on every grocery item in the store. Stop in and discover for yourself the hometown service and attention that you deserve at Dwayne's Foodtown, located at 375 South Main in Fillmore. Proud to support the Eagles this year.
Stop in at Service Drug in Delta or Fillmore and take advantage of the summer specials going on with KitchenAid appliances. From now through September 30th, purchase a KitchenAid stand mixer and receive a free ice cream maker attachment, a $79 value. Or purchase a KitchenAid juicer and receive a $50 prepaid Visa card. Stop by today and start saving at Service Drug, where we're dedicated to your good health and good value. Service Drug, 215 West Main Street, Delta, 40 North Main Street, Fillmore. Experience service first at Service Drug in Delta and Fillmore.
Hi, I'm Mark Huntsman, Senior Vice President of Sunrise Engineering. I would like to thank all of our loyal clients and employees who have contributed to the success of our company. Sunrise Engineering has been recently recognized nationally in the top 500 engineering firms and as a recipient of the National Client Satisfaction Award 5 years in a row. We are presently expanding at Sunrise and are looking to add engineers, surveyors, and other support staff. To join our team, visit our website or call Sunrise Engineering at 800-560-6151.
The type of medical care you receive shouldn't depend on where you live. People in rural towns should receive high-quality medicine just like those in big cities. Delta Community Medical Center and Fillmore Community Medical Center both provide the same quality care and advanced technology you'd receive if you drove to the city. What they do well. Intermountain's Fillmore Community Medical Center and Delta Community Medical Center. Healing for life.
Welcome back to Sunrise Here I go again, the Snow College pregame show. Once again, we appreciate Snow College. They're in the top 10% in student success. Turn on your education and visit snow.edu. Well, one thing about these two football teams is they're pretty similar in styles. Their base offense is the same offense. Both of them, I guess, graduates of the Dean Fowles football factory that he had going so well over there. And they both trying to use that as their base offense as they approach their offensive their schemes. And so it's kind of tough in some ways to run against that when the other team practices it and runs against it all the time too.
They are, and you hit it right on the head. They both kind of cut their teeth under Coach Dean Fowles. And I don't know if there's another program in the state, well, I'm pretty sure there isn't, that runs that inverted wishbone. It's pretty unique, and a lot of people say, well, that doesn't look that difficult to defend, but it really is, because you're flipping that, instead of the wishbone, you're flipping them up, and you've got an extra blocker out in front, and you can run a lot of things out of it. And like I said, it's the person or the team that executes the best here tonight that's going to win this thing. And I'm sure you're going to see both coaches try to throw some wrinkles in to kind of confuse the other side.
Well, they both have done that. They both put their little bit of extra into it, so it's theirs. That that's why I say it's their base offense.
Yep.
And then they both do their own little thing out of it. But it will be very, very similar. The inverted bone, and they are the only schools in the state of Utah, to my knowledge, that do run or ever have run it.
Yep.
So it's
and how successful have both programs been doing that? It's been amazing to see how it really has worked.
Yeah. And for those that don't know, again, it's called the inverted bone. 2 fullbacks, 1 tailback. And then they go from there, and it's a base running attack, option attack, powers off the edge. So that's kind of the way they stack up. What do you expect out of Delta tonight?
Well, like I said, it was hard to really come away with a whole lot after last week because they just got behind in a hurry. They've got to try and control the ball. They've got to limit the turnovers. They had a couple of them up there as well, but they just mirror each other so much that I could probably say the same thing for Millard. They're probably the same thing. You've got to protect the ball. Don't turn it over, and your quarterback, both quarterbacks they've got to have a good game tonight. Everything keys off those quarterbacks with the option and the dive and the passing game. And I think both quarterbacks are first-year starters as well.
Well, yeah, especially on the Millard side. In fact, the young man hasn't played quarterback before. He's been a running back. He's been a two-back for years. Of course, he was injured last year, couldn't play. That's Kyler Rowley. This year they moved him to the quarterback. So he's trying to make up a lot of ground in a short period of time. Millard won the toss. They elected to defer to the second half, and Delta decided to receive, and they'll be on the south goal going north. And Sebastian Garcia will be kicking it off. It's a low line drive, comes down at about the 10-yard line, and going off to the right-hand side and breaking the right-hand side. Nice penetration through that front line. Finally caught and brought down. That's number 44.
That's Jason Hatch.
Jason Hatch for Delta. He's going to move the ball to about the 29-yard line. He beat the first line of defense, but then got hit in the second line and taken down. But that's good starting field position for the Delta Rabbits.
And last week they just didn't have that. They were on their heels the whole night. So we'll see what happens here on the first drive out.
They come up in.
And already, Dennis,
you
can see.
Split it to double wing, yeah.
Yep.
In fact, 3 receivers right, 1 left, single setback. And the ball come back, quick option to the right-hand side. Off the right-hand side is the little running back that you mentioned coming off that right side, number 33.
That's Reagan Riding.
And that's a nice pickup on first down. And they just spread Millard out and used him for blockers. Same idea, just a different formation.
And the play that worked against Salem Hills was the option, simply because Salem Hills was packing the box. They were bringing everybody up front. So they did. That's where their success was on the outside.
They go back to the standard inverted bone.
Wow.
And immediately in the backfield, they did a counter. And in the backfield immediately, I believe, was number 60. And that would be Sebastian Garcia. Is going to be a loss on the play of about 3. It'll come up for a second and 9. It'll now be a 3rd and 6.
And I believe that was Bo Nielsen trying to take the handoff. And they're lucky they hung on to it there because the defense was there about the time the handoff was trying to be made.
This time they'll come back up again. Delta in the inverted bone standard. Under center is Dutson. In motion right to left. Back to pass is Dutson looking over the middle. Hit by one back. Not go down. He finally is taken down. And he was hit by the defensive end and didn't take him down. But now there's going to be a penalty flag. So after a great play by Millard, it's going to be negated by a penalty for unsportsmanlike conduct.
And I was looking down writing statistics down, Dennis, so I didn't even see what happened on the play after there. So
I don't know what was said or done, but it was as they were headed back to the huddle, there was a lot of hooping and hollering going on by the Millard Eagles, and immediately the the referee threw the flag, and it's going to be about a 15-yard walk-off, and that will be enough for the 1st and 10. So on a good play by Millard turns into a negative play.
And that's
because
too bad,
of too much emotion. And I don't know if they said something else or what.
That's too bad because Millard would have gotten the ball back right there in pretty good field position. Delta would have had to have kicked that one away from right around their own 20.
It will give Delta a 1st and 10 at their own 41-yard line. And you're right, it would have been great field position for the Millard Eagles because they'd have been kicking from about the 20 or the 15.
Yep.
Delta will come up again in the inverted bone. Again, Dutson under center, puts motion to the right-hand side, left to right. Give to the first back through the middle. He's going to be hit immediately and stuffed in the middle by the interior part of the Millard Eagle defense, and that's Sebastian Garcia and also Watcott. And that's a name that the Delta folks will, I'm sure, understand. His dad did graduate from Delta High School. And carrying on the play, did you get the number?
Yeah, that was Rat Shamo carrying the ball. He's the up back. He'll get a lot of the tough yards for Delta tonight.
And that's a loss. Well, in fact, there's no gain on that play. And it'll be 2nd down and 10 for the Delta Rabbits. Once again, the inverted bone, double split receivers. Quarterback under center, motion again from right to left, fake the first back through, looking for the pass across the middle. In and out of the hands of number 4, Dakota Dutson. That was there for a big gain, but it just went right through his hands.
And you know what, Dennis? That was not a bad pass. That wasn't a poorly thrown ball. That was a good pass. I think he just sometimes those receivers get a little hesitant to stretch out when they're going over the middle. Not that he had to a whole lot, but it was just up a little bit high. But that's one that he should probably catch, and he would tell you, I'll catch that next time.
Should have had that one back, definitely so. It'll be up a 3rd down now, 3rd down and 10. And these are the situations this kind of offense doesn't want to get into.
Yeah, exactly.
This time they'll put the deep back in motion across the formation. It's going to be a reverse back the other way. Millard's there, but he beats a tackle, beats a second tackle, finally taken down on the far side. And the first attempted tackle drove him so deep into the backfield that when he finally got tackled, he had only picked up 1 yard. So that'll be 1 yard, and carrying on the play, number 33 once again, and that's Reagan riding for a pickup of 1 yard. So it'll be 4th down and 9 at the 42-yard line, and Delta will be lined up in kicking formation.
And Reagan did everything he could. He avoided a couple of tackles, but there was just too much traffic to get through.
Quarterback Dutson with the kick. It's a low-line drive, comes down at about the 25-yard line, fumbled by Millard. Finally they pick it back up, come off the left-hand side. Delta all over that now. He's going nowhere as that fumble took any chance of a run back away from them, even though it was a low-line drive. There is a penalty flag down, however, and so we'll hold everything as we wait to see who the penalty was on and what the outcome is.
You know, and last week up at Salem Hills.
Sideline warning against Delta.
That's my favorite call. I think it must be an emphasis this year is all I can figure. We saw it called, I think it was twice last week, one on each side. I always thought as an official, I can take care of that on my own on the sideline and just say, hey, guys, I need you to go back. But they're warning them now. It's like I said, we saw it often last week.
On one of the touchdowns, I believe, that Millard ran, the big long one, there was a flag down, but that's all it was a sideline warning because Millard had gotten in the way. The coaches had gotten in the way. Millard has got some confusion out there as they run too many players on the field. They're going to call a timeout, so let's go back to studio with 8:14 left in this first quarter.
Millard County Credit Union in Fillmore and Delta sincerely appreciate your business over the years. Not only will you find amazingly low interest rates, automobile and RV loans, checking, Visa accounts, bill pay, and debit cards, but their new Flex Teller service at millardccu.com will make it convenient to manage all your credit union accounts from home. Flex Teller is coming soon and will provide members with mobile banking and remote deposit capture. Millard County Credit Union in Delta and Fillmore, a proud sponsor of this sports broadcast. Stevens Feed and Holden serves the surrounding communities in Millard County as well as farmers in central and southern Utah. They buy and sell alfalfa hay and can haul your hay to wherever it needs to go. You can be assured that you'll get the right price while receiving the service you deserve when buying and selling hay. The entire crew appreciates farmers and ranchers for their business over the years, and they're happy to contribute to the school and community as a sports booster. That's Stevens Feed and Holden, a proud supporter of Millard Athletics.
Welcome back. Millard's first possession after the timeout. Right, Kyler Rowley on the keep off the option look to the right-hand side. He's going to get a yard or two, maybe possibly, as he moves the ball about to the 30-yard line on the quarterback keep. That'll be Kyler Rowley on that carry. Again, he is an accomplished running back, and they're going to give him a long two. That's a nice pickup for them.
And he's a good-looking athlete, too.
6'3" and about 210, 15 pounds. He's well built. Millard likes to break the bone a little bit. Now they're going to go back into the standard inverted bone. Now they'll break it and bring one of the upbacks over to the right-hand side as a tight end. Hand off to the first back through. He's hit immediately in the backfield. Nice play by number, I can't tell, is it 85 or 95? 96 for the Delta Rabbits. Number 96 on that play. And I don't have a 96. Do you have a 96?
You know. Might have been Jansen Manus up. Well, let me make sure. I'll give you an idea. It might have been Brett Walker, 62. 79's Bodie Draper as well.
The end result of the play is a loss of 1 for the Millard Eagles. And so they will have it 3rd down now and a short 9. Back to pass, Kyler Rowley. Pass out in the flat. Receiver out there off his hand and incomplete. Pass out there intended for number 10 for the Millard Eagles, and that's Daniel Whitaker. And that's going to be incomplete and bring up a 4th down and long, as that's the first attempted pass. However, another flag.
And we've seen more flags already here in the first 5 minutes than we saw all last week up at Salem Hills.
The officials coming forward now. Millard's offense is still out there. This illegal shift against the Millard Eagles, that will be declined, and that will mean it is a 4th down now. And again, a lot of confusion, unfortunately, on the Millard side of things as they try to put this offense together. Back in punt formation will be the quarterback, Kyler Rolla. Interesting, both quarterbacks do the punting. And deep to receive for the Delta Rabbits, number 44, Hayden Anderson.
Oh, it's a nice punt.
Nice long punt's going to go away from Anderson. Great bounce. It hits about the 30. It's still going down inside the 20. Finally did at the 14-yard line. So as good as the punt was, the bounce was even better. And that'll pin Delta back down about the 14-yard line as they take over the second possession at the 14.
And, the kicking game really could play a huge part in this ball game because the teams are so evenly matched. It might be a punt like that makes the difference.
Well, you like to see your punting team and your kicking teams kind of flip the field. And in that case, it went a long ways to doing that as Delta looked to get really good field position, and just no way after that punt and roll. Again, Delta's second possession. And they'll come up in the inverted bone. Again, they go motion across the formation, give to the second back through, and just nothing there. That time it's number 42 for the Delta Rabbits.
And that's Dallin Draper that we talked about a little bit.
And 42 is going to get a gain of maybe 1, but the interior part of the Millard defense right now with Watcott at middle linebacker and Hayden Hunter at the 1 tackle and Kyler Rowley at that defensive end, just nothing there as they closed that hole down immediately. They had a lead blocker, but they went right past him.
And once again, as we mentioned early, the team that executes, that stays with the block, knows their assignments, they're going to have the advantage.
This time they run the counter again, back the other way, and it's going to hand off once again to Schammel, I believe it is.
Draper again.
Draper this time, as it was again a cross blast back into the inside. He's going to be a nice gain this time, as he will get about 6 yards on the play. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 3.
And again, he is quick. They're running him inside this tonight. Last week we saw him get outside a couple of times. Between him and Riding, they both can turn on the jets.
Delta has a chance here to 1st down with the 3rd and short, I guess you could call it, in this situation. And they come to the line of scrimmage once again in the inverted bone. Back in at tailback now is Reagan Riding. Millard in their 4-4 defense, motion against the zone again. Fake the handoff to the first back, quarterback keep. He's hit in the backfield, but he spins forward. Nice job as the quarterback is able to spin out of the hold.
But it's going to come back.
Do we have another penalty flag?
Flag on the 20.
Okay, it's on this side. I didn't see it on this side. Nice play, however, by the quarterback, Dutson, as he was hit early, spun out of that and got clear up to the 27-yard line where it would have been a 1st down. Now they're going to call illegal shift. And I think what's happening is the backs that are going in motion are turning up too soon.
That's exactly what it was. It looked like to me the back came in motion and just got a little antsy and headed upfield.
A back is allowed to be in motion as long as he is parallel to or away from the line of scrimmage. If they turn up, that becomes the illegal shift rather than the procedural penalty. They're both procedural, but it's a different type.
And so here's a big penalty against the Rabbits that would have given them a 1st down. Out close to the 30. Instead, you're back to that 3rd down and long, which is just, I would dare say, percentage-wise with this type of an offense, it takes you down into the 20s or 10% trying to convert from this long out.
3rd down and 8. They do come back up in the inverted bone once again. Same scenario. They've only broke that one time tonight. Ball is handed off back to pass as the quarterback being pressured by the defensive end. Rolling pass out there included. Well, the coaches nearly got that one.
And, he just waited a little too long. The receiver turned. That was Ridge Peterson and broke and was open right at the 1st down marker. But Jack just didn't seem quick enough and then ended up throwing it out of bounds.
And, again, that's a casualty of this type of offense in that you don't practice your passing game as often as other teams do.
Yep.
And so it's a greater margin for failure, I guess you could say. Back to kick again is the quarterback, Dutson, standing at a 5-yard line. Nice snap back. Kick is a low end-over-end kick. Comes down at the 45-yard line. Marshall with the ball to the outside. It gets across midfield down to about the 35-yard line. Nice touchdown saving tackle by number 36 for the Delta Rabbits, as it looked like he could go all the way. That's Bo Nielsen. Saves possibly a touchdown there for the Millard Eagles, but they will have great field position at the 34-yard line of Delta.
And Dennis, what set this whole thing up was the punt from Millard a series ago. That's what flipped the field, put Delta deep. Of course, the penalty killed them, but still, the kicking game right now is what set this up.
This time Millard will come out in the broken bone with the quarterback Rowley back in the shotgun position. Handoff to the second back. Breaks through the first, breaks through the second. He's headed to the end zone. Breaks another tackle. In the end zone goes number 16 for the Millard Eagles. Okay, number 16 for the Millard Eagles, and there is no number on that. I'm pretty sure it's Derek Beckstrand, and you survived that cannon blast a whole lot better.
I saw it coming.
Derek Beckstrand, I'm sure that's number 16 on that carry. Through the left-hand side, nice blocking for a 28-yard touchdown for the Millard Eagles.
Yeah, that's Derek Brunson that wears that number, and 2 or 3 guys had shots at him, and he just stepped right through the tackle.
That would have been a 34-yard touchdown run. Into kick, Sebastian Garcia. Jesse Robinson on the hole. Ball is down. The kick is up low, and they're going to whistle that one dead.
Yeah, I think Delta
happened.
Jumped off sides.
Well, they better hope so, because that missed badly.
Yeah.
Millard better hope it's up against Delta.
And right now, the word is discipline, Dennis, for Delta. Right now, the penalties have hurt them, put them in a bad spot. They've given up the touchdown here. I'm sure they'll have a pretty good discussion after this, during this timeout over on that sideline. So
Millard now will have it a little bit closer. That's only about 1.5 yards. Same scenario. They're going to look to kick this ball.
And another
penalty flag. Okay. This will probably be on the Millard Eagles.
Not sure what this is.
Well, when it's thrown from that position, that guy's looking right into the Millard side, so it's got to be on the Millard. This is the unfairness of this penalty. So Delta gets a 5-yard penalty, but it's 1.5 yards because it's half the distance. Millard gets a 5-yard penalty. It's the full 5.
Exactly.
They march it out.
And obviously somebody probably went set, put their hand down, and then maybe lifted back up, and that's what they called it, looked like.
Sebastian Garcia still looking to try the extra point. Snap is back. Robinson with the hold. This is a much, much better kick, and they're going to call this one good. So all the hullabaloo actually worked out in Millard's favor. So 7-0 with 5 minutes left in the first quarter. Let's go back to studio for a quick timeout.
How long has it been since you performed at your peak? Dr. Jordan Meekum at Peak Performance Chiropractic and Sports Rehab Center in Delta wants to help you reach your peak performance in everything you do. Whether it's at work, the golf course, the field, the hardwood, in the mountains, or maybe most importantly, playing with your kids, Dr. Meekum provides services for everything from back pain, headaches, shoulder, elbow, and wrist pain, foot and ankle injuries, and pain that comes with pregnancy. Visit PerformPeak.com to schedule your appointment today at Peak Performance in Delta or call 435-864-2000.
The government and community leaders in Millard County today were molded into the people they have become by the experiences and opportunities during their high school years. The same stands true for the future leaders of Delta City. That's why the City Council and Mayor of Delta are thoroughly invested in providing opportunities for the students of Delta High School to assist them in reaching their potential. Delta City appreciates the opportunity to support Delta High School academics and this Delta Rabbits sports broadcast.
Welcome back once again to tonight's game. This is Dennis Aldridge and Ken Nielsen bringing you the Millard-Delta rivalry. Millard has just scored and will be kicking off. Sebastian Garcia, a better punt, kick high and deep, comes down at the 5-yard line, taken by Delta there, veer off the right-hand side, hit in the back and knocked down. That's a pretty good hitting going out there. And it'll be Delta's 1st and 10 now. They do move it out to the 24-yard line, it looks like. And that will be where they take over this time. 1st and 10 for the Delta Rabbits.
And so we'll see if Delta now can kind of settle down. I think sometimes the hype gets to you a little bit. You come out early, and I think that's why you've seen so many penalties both ways.
Yeah.
But they've certainly got to answer right here. They've at least got to get some field position established so that they don't kick the ball back to Millard and give it to him at the 50.
Once again in the inverted bone. Shamo in motion across the formation. Handoff, fake to the first back. Quarterback on the keep. Beats the first tackle. He's going to get into the secondary, and he'll be taken down there by the big middle linebacker, Watcott, and aided by also number 2 in there helping him out, and that's Jackson Wardle, just a sophomore. Pickup of about 5 by the quarterback, Dutson. And that's a nice gain on first down in this formation.
Yep. Pretty good decision on his part to keep it step inside the tackle and work his way upfield.
This time looks like power I in the backfield, not the inverted bone. Handoff to the first back, however. Powering over the middle, struggling forward for some yardage. That was a lot of second effort there. And that is number 21 on the carry.
Yep,
for the
Rhett Shamo.
Rhett Shamo. And they came out of that up back spot in that power I for the pickup of it looks like 2. So that'll be a third down and, well, it's about 2 yards. Give it 2.5. Third down and 2.5 yards for the Delta Rabbits. They approach the line of scrimmage. Again, the inverted bone, double wide receiver. And ball is snapped. Fake the first handoff. Give to the second back. He's hit at the line of scrimmage and drugged back. I don't know what forward formation will be, but number 55, Hayden Hunter, was dragging him backwards on that play after he made the tackle to hit up in early. Quarterback's talking to the big middle linebacker for the Millard Eagles, Watcott. Don't know what that was about. They moved the ball ahead. It's going to be awful close to that first down candidate. And this is a gut check right here. Do you go ahead and go for this deep in your own territory in the first quarter?
I'm guessing that Coach Russ Fowles, he'll roll the dice and go for it here. And I know Coach Sheriff is saying,
don't jump.
Watch the double go. Nobody jump right here.
It's worse than a double go. It's about 5 goes. They
Big
come
play.
Up in the inverted bone, and this is, if they don't get this, it puts them in terrible shape. Fake, 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 timeout.
Yeah,
so there you go.
Yeah, you could see it coming. And, a lot of people will say, why do you do that? Well, you're going to take a timeout anyway to talk about it, so why not go up and see if you can draw them first?
Well, but it's gotten to be so predictable.
Yeah, especially with these two teams.
Yeah. Actually, the unpredictable thing right now would be to come up and go on the first go. Nobody expected. So it's timeout for Delta. Let's go back for a 30-second timeout to the studio.
When I was thinking about going back to school, I got pretty nervous, just knowing I had a young family and money was tight for us. As a mother, online courses were perfect for my busy schedule. One of the things that was huge for me was how affordable this program was. Without the online courses, I know I wouldn't be able to finish school or transfer to a major university. I will always be grateful for Snow College in helping me reach my goals and helping me set the pathway for my future.
This sports broadcast is brought to you by Materion Natural Resources in Delta, Utah. Materion is the world's primary source of high-quality beryllium concentrate, which is used in nuclear test reactors, military aircraft, satellites, scientific telescopes, electrical connectors, and medical devices. Materion works closely with government agencies and reclamation plans and to comply with pollution standards in the Topaz Mountain areas. The company and employees at Materion Natural Resources fully support the schools and communities in Millard County.
Welcome back to Fillmore, Utah. And once again, after the timeout, Delta comes up in the power I, so it looks like they're going to be going for it. Ball is snapped back. Pitch outside to the running back outside.
That's Draper.
Off the hand side outside Draper. Gets down across. Big gain by Draper as he's going to be called out of bounds at the 46-yard line. That's a pickup of 12 yards on the play by Draper. That's not what you expect either. You would have thought they'd gone straight ahead.
Absolutely. And as I mentioned, the success that Delta has seen has been on the option. It's been around the corners, and that was a little bit of a surprise. You'd think maybe the quarterback could just come up, tap his center, take it, and go ahead. But there's a little risk there because you got to pitch the ball out there in traffic.
It'll be a 1st and 10 for Delta, again at their own 46-yard line. Back to pass. The quarterback passed out to the flat. It's completed to the second receiver out there. Juke to the sideline, taken down out of bounds, number 21, Rhett Shamo. And that was a nice pass because there were 2 receivers. He looped it over the first and the defender and dropped it into the hands of the second.
Yeah, and I think the defensive back thought it was to that first receiver and was kind of playing it, and it just drifted over his head to the second one because there was a lot of traffic in the area. It works out for Delta.
15-yard pickup on the play, puts the ball at the Millard 39-yard line. Nice drive being put together now by the Delta Rabbits. 1st and 10 at the 39, up in the inverted bone once again. Ball handed off on the counter play back to the inside. Reverse pivot out. Counter play back inside. Number 21 on the carry once again, Rhett Schammel. And Delta right now, really, they've kind of come to life. They're doing whatever they want, whenever they want.
Well, they're finally starting to find a little bit of rhythm here in the offense. And, of course, you convert a big 4th down and 1. It kind of gives you a little bit of a lift. And now they're getting back to their vintage play. And that middle play finally opened up there. That's the first time I think we've seen them really get anything that substantial right up the middle.
And they're outside, underneath the shadow of their own end zone, so they can open up a few more things. Inverted bone once again with Dutson under center. No motion this time. Reverse pivot, back to the outside, kind of a shovel past the outside. Down the sideline goes Draper. He'll be knocked out of bounds, and this really is the vision of the future past. Watching Draper go down that sideline out of that tailback position.
And how about Dutson? It was an option right, but there was a defensive man in the way. He couldn't pitch it like he normally would. He jumped, actually threw kind of a pass. It was obviously a lateral, but he had to turn and pass it over the top to get it to him.
Nice pickup, and when I say the future past, this young man's dad ran like crazy for a couple of years, helping Delta to win state championships back in the mid-'80s or early 80s. Did he get set? There's a little bit of motion on the play, and it was a busted play. The back moved forward, but looked like he may have reset. The give was to number 42, Draper, and because nobody else moved, everybody was confused. He got nailed.
Yep.
So now the discussion between the referee who actually threw the flag and the side judge who did not, I guess, will probably be, did he get set?
And that's confusing for a lot of players and fans. They'll see that back jump, and you're okay as long as you, like you said, either you got to go on through and turn and go lateral, or you got to get reset. And it looks like they're going to say he did not get reset.
They said he did not, so it's a 5-yard walk-off that Millard elects to take the penalty. It'll move the ball back to the 28-yard line. There is a minute left in this first quarter, and Millard again ahead 7-0, but a nice drive being put together by Delta. They'll now face a 1st and 15 from the Millard 28.5-yard line. Play will come in from the sideline to the quarterback, Dutson.
And so far, most of the option, Dennis, you've noticed, has been to the right side. We'll see if they don't try and run something around this left end.
They bring the receiver tight this time on the right-hand side. And now motion across the formation again is Schammel. Back to pass, the quarterback pressured. Picked off under the pressure. Coming to the outside is Jackson. Jackson with the interception comes clear across. And here we go with another penalty flag. It'll be on Millard, but they will retain possession of the football. And again, the pressure on the quarterback by Kyler Rowley caused a bad pass, and it was picked off by Jackson Wardle.
And those of you that are watching on TV, you notice that Jack leaves his feet. He jumps in the air to throw that pass. And when you do that, you have nothing on it. And he just couldn't get it to the receiver he wanted to. And so that was a nice play there by Wardle. Just stepped right in front, picked it off.
Sometimes you're better not to throw the ball if you're under duress like that. But the run back by Wardle will be wiped out by the penalty. I believe it was probably a block in the back. Did not see the indication. Block in the back on the return. It'll be 10 yards walk-off. Millard will retain possession, and they'll start at their own. Well, it's the line of scrimmage for Delta. It's the 28-yard line, 29-yard line.
And we talked about it, mistakes. We talked in the pregame, show the team that can eliminate the mistakes and avoid the turnovers is going to have the advantage, and that has absolutely been a killer for Delta here tonight. The penalty that killed the first down, and now the turnover here kills a big drive.
Millard comes to the line of scrimmage, and they're short one man, so they're going to have to call another timeout. Let's go back to the studio for another minute timeout.
Mountain Land Supply of Richfield is the Central Utah leader in plumbing, waterworks, turf, and ag irrigation. Mountain Land Supply features an entire line of Rainbird sprinklers and systems for your yard or commercial property and backs it up with an extremely knowledgeable staff that cares about the local community because they live here. Visit them at 2104 South Red Hills Drive in Richfield or call for a showroom appointment 435-896-9606. Mountain Land Supply is proud to sponsor high school sports and wishes the teams, coaches, and players success.
Millard, Chevron, Subway, and Texaco are happy to support Millard High School. Not only can you stop in for top-quality gasoline and oil products, but you can fill up on snacks, goodies, and drinks. You'll also find their irresistible, world-famous fried chicken and potato logs. Miller's can also service your vehicle with mechanical service or a new set of tires. And dine in on delicious and healthy meal selections at Subway. That's Millard, Chevron, Subway, and Texaco on the North I-15 interchange in Fillmore, proud to sponsor the player of the game.
Welcome back once again to Fillmore, Utah. Millard versus Delta. There is 56 seconds left in the first quarter. Millard leading 7-0, and they have it 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line after their second timeout. Millard will break the ball and run double receivers to the left-hand side, fake the first dive, pitch back. Oof. That was basically a lateral, so even though it hit the ground, he was able to pick it up and run with it. Luckily, a nice bounce comes right back up to, looks like Brunson, I believe, on that recovery. He got a lucky bounce. It was a terrible pass, bounced at his feet, popped right back up into his hands. As a result, I don't know if you call it a pass or a lateral run.
Probably a lateral, yeah.
But it's a 5-yard pickup by Brunson.
And, you know, Dennis, just to give you an idea here, Delta now has run 19 plays in this game to Millard's 6 plays. But one of those plays, of those 6, went 34 yards and a touchdown, and that's your difference right now.
Under center now in the inverted bone. Hand off to the first back through. Hit immediately at the line of scrimmage. Does work forward for a couple of yards and then taken down by the Delta defense. Number 10 on the carry for the Millard Eagles. That's Daniel Whitaker. And I believe it was the defensive tackle in there, number 62, Brett Walker, first to hit him as he got hit immediately, struggled forward until he was taken down for good. And that'll be the end of the first quarter with the score 7-0 for the Millard Eagles. Let's go back to the studio once again.
Have you heard? Central Valley Medical Center is now providing orthopedic surgery. That's right, Dr. Joel Holman is a full-time orthopedic surgeon practicing in Nephi. You no longer need to drive to the Wasatch Front for hip replacement, knee replacement, fracture care, hand surgery, and general orthopedic care. Dr. Holman completed a residency in general orthopedics and a fellowship in hand surgery at the U of U and sees patients in the Nephi Medical Clinic inside Central Valley Medical Center. Call 435-623-3633, 623-3633. Kern River Gas Transmission wishes the Millard Eagles good luck this season and reminds everyone that damage from others digging into a pipeline is one of the main causes of pipeline failures. Never guess where a pipeline is located. Whether you're a farmer, rancher, or homeowner, if you plan to dig, call Blue Stakes to make sure all utilities are marked. Call Blue Stakes at 800-662-4111 or the new national 811 number at least 48 hours before digging. Kern River Gas Transmission Company reminds you to call before you dig. It's free. It's the law.
Welcome back once again as we prepare for the second quarter. Again, your statistics real quickly. Millard gains a total of 42 yards in that first half quarter. And they do get a touchdown out of it, and Delta's going to have more than that easily. But they've hurt themselves badly with the penalties.
In fact, Delta with 44 yards rushing, and they had the 1 pass completion for 15. But you're right, mistakes has just kept Delta from moving up the field.
Fumble on the snap, picked up by Rowley. Pitch outside to Brunson, out to the outside, makes the corner. He'll be taken down, but not before a pickup of about 7-8 yards. He'll be taken down out there by number 4 for the Delta Rabbits. And number 4 is Dakota Dutson. And it looked like Brunson might have another big run, but he is taken down on the far side after a first down pickup.
Nice pickup as the ball looked like it did hit the ground, came up with it and just got out around. And Delta looked a little hesitant. As if like, wow, what just happened? And they just got beat to the corner right there.
Millard will come back out again in the broken bone. They'll have Marshall. Now they're going to go back to looks like again, now they're going to the power. Now they've shifted to a broken bone left. Fake a reverse pivot handoff into the backfield to Brunson. Brunson bounces to the outside right. He's got some running room. Oh, he's taken down. It looks like, again, a shoestring tackle over there, and I believe it was number 4, Dakota Dutson, saving on that tackle as he went through the center of the line, bounced to the outside, looked like he had a lot of running room, and Dutson able to bring him down.
Yeah, Brunson had the touchdown earlier in the game, and you can see he can really get out and motor, and he sidestepped. He's good lateral as he stepped around a couple of tacklers and got ahead for 8.
It'll be a second down now and 2 yards to play. Play is the new play brought in by Garrison Beckstrand. Rowley, the quarterback, will take it into the huddle now. And Delta waiting the play. Millard quickly to the line of scrimmage. They will be in the inverted bone once again, put motion across from right to left. A reverse pivot once again. Fake the handoff. Rowley's got it on the outside. Lots of running room. Big Rowley jukes to the outside. He's still on his feet down the sideline, and he'll be taken out of bounds finally down around. Well, they're going to say he stepped out finally at about the 24-yard line. And that's something those defensive backs don't want to see, is Rowley coming down the sideline, and they're going to have to tack him with no friends. The penalty flag down, personal foul, face masking. So this will be tacked on, and Rowley did act like he came up saying, hey, what about the face mask? And he's going to get some more. And it's the personal foul kind. That could be up to 15 yards depending on where the ball is spotted.
Boy, and give credit to Coach Marshall Sheriff right there, as he pulled that out at the perfect time as Delta was keying on those backs. Everything's been busted inside on a trap or off tackle, and just like that, he is up the sideline. There was nobody there. Like you mentioned, I believe, coming up on that corner, Dakota Dutson, and he was no match for.
No, he had to come up and tackle that, but the one that really hurt them was the defensive end bit hard on the dive fake. So after the penalty, Millard will have it 1st and 10 at about the 14-yard line, 13-yard line, and they will go to the power I formation in the backfield. Again, a fumble snap picked up by Rowley. He's dancing, trying to get away from people. He's going to somehow get back to the line of scrimmage, and I think that's surely on the size of the young man able to power back in there. In on the tackle for Delta, number 3 for the Delta Rabbits. In there on that tackle is Ridge Peterson.
Defensive end Ridge Peterson comes up and makes it. That's a great effort to make. Got a yard almost out of it.
Fumbled the ball, was almost didn't get it picked up, and then was able to make something out of that. And that's you got to get that stopped. That's a problem between center and quarterback. You got to get that stopped, no matter who you are. It'll be a 2nd down and 9 as they give him a pickup of 1 after all of that. They'll come up in the broken bone with a wing to the right-hand side. Snap is back. Down the line goes Rowley. Keeps it himself. Turns it back inside. Nice read by Rowley, and that's what you got to do in this offense. Read it and go. Quarterback gets down to about the 5-yard line. Millard on the doorstep. It'll be 3rd down. 3rd down and about 3 now from the 5-yard line. They can get a 1st and 10 inside the 2.
You know, and you hate to have your quarterback take too many hits, but as good an athlete as he is, it's hard not to give him the ball 15, 20 times a game.
In this offense, your quarterback has to be a serious threat. Otherwise, you don't run this offense.
Absolutely.
And he made a nice read there, turned it up and got what he could. 3rd down now. They'll go motion from left to right across the formation. Hand off to the Brunson, 2nd back through. He's going to be hit, though, right at the line of scrimmage. He may have gotten a yard, but not much more out of that, as the interior part of that Delta defense, led by number 62 up in there. Big kid, Brett Walker, 62. They're going to give him 1 yard. It's going to be 4th and maybe a yard and a half. What do you do? Now they're going to take a timeout, officials timeout.
And I'll tell you what I do, Dennis. You keep the ball in Kyler Rowley's hands and just let him power ahead.
That was an official timeout, looking maybe some blood or something, checking some of the Delta kids out, but they didn't send anybody off, so it must be okay. Plays coming in from Garrison Beckstrand to the quarterback. Again, Millard on about the 4-yard line. It's 8 minutes and 32 seconds left in the 2nd quarter, and Millard already had 7-0.
And
big play for the Delta defense.
Maybe
right
Millard
here.
does the same thing Delta does, and options around the end on a 4th and 1.
Big play for the Delta defense right here. Inverted bone. Give the 1st back. Pitched outside to the 2nd back. He's going to go into the end zone. No, he's caught. And stop this in the end zone. He's tackled there by number 55 for Delta. I thought he had stepped out, but Russ Styler not able to hold him out. And the touchdown is scored. And I think that's again by Brunson. And a good block on the outside. You had people out there, but the up back took out the corner and gave him just enough of a crease to get into.
Yeah, as good an effort as it was by the back, the people out in front really, really made that one go, because there were people there, it looked like, that might come up and make the tackle. But again, those kids that sustain their blocks and stay with it, even though they know they're not getting the ball thrown to them, if they'll go out and block and sustain, that's what you get right there.
Snap is back for the kick of the extra point. Low line drive. It did get through, and they're going to call it good. So 14-0 for the Millard Eagles with 8 minutes and 11 seconds left in this first half. We'll be back in 1 minute.
The
The all-new truck of the year, the Chevrolet Colorado, has arrived at Drew Bay Chevrolet. Check out the all-new innovations in a mid-size truck, 305 horsepower and up to 26 miles per gallon highway. The best-in-class payload, towing, and the quietest ride on the road from any mid-size pickup. For the safest ride in a mid-size truck, look no further. High-strength steel frame, rolled form steel pickup box, 6 airbags, and new active security technology all combined to make your Chevrolet Colorado the right stuff. The Chevrolet Colorado at Drew Bay Chevrolet.
Flowell Electric wants their customers to be safe around electricity. And here's a few tips. First, don't use an electrical appliance around water. Another tip is to call Blue Stakes to have utility lines marked before you dig in your yard. And never damage power company equipment because it causes needless power outages, creates safety hazards, and results in higher power rates. Flowell Electric, a proud supporter of Millard High School.
Sebastian Garcia will be kicking the ball after the touchdown by the Millard Eagles. This kick is going to come down about the 5-yard line, stepping in front to take the ball, and he's going to be hit at about the 25, bounces to the left-hand side, coming around the right, hit and taken down. Nice effort by the runner of Delta, and that is number 86. Number 86 on that carry.
That's Brandon Cahoon for Delta.
Cahoon, and he ran right in front of the other back to take. He was sitting there waiting for the ball. He ran in front and took it away. But a nice effort by him as he'll move the ball out to the 30-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Delta Rabbits.
And if you're a Delta fan, you go, I'll take that. We like to see a little bit of aggression out there. Get it and go.
Somebody who wants it bad.
Yeah.
Delta will have it 1st and 10 now in this next possession. Again, 7:56 left in the first half. 14-0 for the Millard Eagles. This becomes a huge drive now for Delta to get some momentum back, possibly score, you'd hope, to bring some of it back. Double tight now for the Delta Rabbits. Power I formation. Hand off to the first back through. Nobody's looking at him, and he falls down. Looked like he could have gone for a while. That's number 21 for the Delta Rabbits, Rhett Schammel, and he kind of fell down.
Yeah, he got off that left tackle, and it looked like he was going to scoot for a little while. He does get 7 out of it.
They pick up 7 yards on the play. Nice first down pickup. And they've gone to that power I several times now, and it seems like they've always given to the up back on the I side.
Beaver leading 7-0 right now, Dennis, at the half. A couple of scores to throw your way.
Beaver over Kanab, 7-0.
Yeah, Richfield, South Sevier scoreless, 8:51 to go in the half. And Gunnison leads North Sevier, 14-1 after 1.
Hand off to the first back off the right-hand side with no motion. Jumps to the outside. Nice play by the Delta Rabbit, and that's number 21, Schammel. And you did say he got tough yardage.
Yep.
And he's earning every one of those yards as he moves the ball to the 44-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Delta Rabbits at the 44, their own 44.
And they really need to get some points on the board, as you said a little while ago before this half. And it's just to go in on somewhat of a positive note, because right now
they've had good drives.
Yeah.
They've just hurt themselves with penalties. Motion will come from left to right across the formation again. Fake first pass across the middle. Picked off again by Jackson Wardle. That's a great athletic play by Jackson Wardle. And the quarterback just must not have seen him. He was throwing the slant, but the slant was behind the corner.
Yep.
You can't throw the slant if it's behind the corner. He must not have seen Jackson standing there.
Yep, he was trying to go to Ridge Peterson coming right across there. And that was just a great play. He tipped it up in the air.
Well, he reached back, reached back and slapped it up in the air, then was able to catch it with defenders, then the Delta Rabbits coming at him and able to make a couple of yards back. It'll be dead center midfield for the Millard Eagles on this possession, and they will go twin receivers to the right-hand side, broken bone. Now they'll put the only back in motion, empty backfield, rolling to the right-hand side is Rowley. He tries to cut inside. He's going to slip and go down. It'll be a loss on the play. And he did have blockers to the outside, but he elected to go inside, and it didn't work that time.
Yes, he did. Millard now up to 94 yards rushing here so far. Delta at 56. Delta has the one pass completion. Only one pass has been completed. Well,
but that rushing yardage has really flipped here in the second
really
quarter because Delta was the one making things happen on the ground, and Millard wasn't, except for the 34-yard touchdown run. So it's really flipped here.
In fact, that last drive by Millard, Dennis, that was a 9-play drive, went 71 yards.
Those are good for you emotionally.
Yep.
Defeat on the defense. Back to pass is Rowley. Looking over the middle. He's got a receiver wide open. It's Marshall out there, and he'll go for a touchdown. Marshall, and the defensive back, did he even see him?
lot of confusion
pass.
is out there is all I can say is
Marshall come off that right-hand side, and it's like they didn't even see him. The defensive backs were looking forward. They didn't even see him go by.
And the only question was, can he reach out far enough to snag it? And he did. It was a beautifully thrown ball. And,
right on the fingertip.
You're right. There was nobody within 10 yards of him once he went by the back.
The defensive backs didn't even look up at him until the ball was in the air and they realized somebody was behind him. Really confused on that one. That'll make it 20-0, and Sebastian in for this extra point attempt again. The kick is up, and this time it's high and deep. Much better kick, and that will be good. And it's 21-0 for the Millard Eagles, and the Cannons going crazy. We'll be back in 1 minute.
At Level Pharmacy in Delta, health is wealth. Level Pharmacy offers drive-through service, delivery service, and compounding. Level Pharmacy isn't just a place to pick up your medications either. They have baby supplies, gifts and decorations, jewelry and purses, BYU ice cream, a soda fountain, Jackson Hole soda, candy, children's toys, a photo kiosk, and a wedding registry. Shop Level Pharmacy, where laughter is the best medicine, on Main Street in Delta.
The Intermountain Power Service Corporation is proud to bring you this presentation. IPSC is a community-minded company that contributes to our local schools, community organizations, and economy. The Intermountain Power Project consistently ranks among the best of America's coal-based power plants in reliability, cost-effectiveness, and environmental responsibility. Intermountain Power Service Corporation strives for perfection and is honored to be actively involved with Delta, Millard, and Juab High Schools.
Sebastian Garcia, this time it's not a real good kick. Nice hop, but it'll go out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. That is a penalty. On the kickoff, you cannot kick it out of bounds. If you do, then you face the possibility. Now, you can take a 5-yard walk off and make him kick it again. You can take it at the spot, or I believe you can take it at the 35-yard line, your choice.
And really, Dennis, that little bit of a mistake there, because that's going to give Delta their best field position, starting position of the night. So with 5:41, a little bit of time still for the Rabbits to make something happen.
Delta will elect to take the ball at the 35-yard line, 1st and 10, rather than to make Millard re-kick the ball. You certainly didn't want to take it where it went out of bounds. And there'll be a timeout called now by the Millard Eagles. That's their third of the first half, so let's go back once again to the studio for another timeout.
The new Carl's Jr. Mushroom and Swiss All-Natural Burger. It's not for everyone. If you prefer wheatgrass juice over juicy grass-fed beef, it's not for you. If you prefer bland mushrooms over sautéed ones, it's not for you. But if you love all-natural beef topped with hand-picked mushrooms and natural Swiss cheese, then it's for you. The Mushroom and Swiss All-Natural Burger, only at Carl's Jr. Natural attributes refer only to the beef patty, mushrooms, and Swiss cheese for a limited time at participating restaurants.
Mountain Land Supply of Richfield is the Central Utah leader in plumbing, waterworks, turf, and ag irrigation. Mountain Land Supply features a beautiful showroom with brands you know and trust, like Moen, Delta, American Standard, Toto, Aquatic, LK, Growy, and more. They've also got what every farmer needs as a Valley distributor for all your agricultural supplies, from pivots and sprinklers to wheel lines and water troughs. Visit Mountain Land Supply Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. at 2104 South Red Hills Drive in Richfield.
Welcome back to Fillmore, Utah. Again, timeout there by the Millard Eagles. Speculation, they're just worrying about prevent-type defenses here before the half starts and getting some things squared away. Delta will have a 35-yard line of their own 35, and they will come out needing something big, as you said, Ken, to get themselves going as their emotion seems to be dwindling each possession. They'll be in the inverted bone, double tight end, motion to the right-hand side, give to the third back, and he's going to be taken back. Watcott and also Jesse Robinson in on the tackle. Carrying on the play, number 42 again, and that is number 42 again.
Dallin Draper.
Dallin Draper, as he seems to be playing a little bit more now than Reagan Writing.
It makes me wonder if maybe Reagan got dinged up a little bit there early in the game, because I don't know if we've seen him since the first quarter.
No, Writing has done Draper has done some really good things, so it's not like you put a slouch out there, but you got to wonder what happened to Writing. Again, Draper on the carry, up the middle, runs right over the free safety, and then picks up a few more yards, and then we're going to have a a penalty flag for someone leading with their head there at the end. So a huge play by Draper up the middle, just flattened the safety.
And Draper, just a sophomore, but you can tell he's got a pretty good head out there.
He runs hard. And what happened there, you can no longer come with the helmet. And when he was on the ground, one of the Millard players came with a helmet. And that's an immediate penalty.
I just watching the replay, and you called it just right, Dennis. You had it right on the money.
Well, that one I didn't have to wait for the official. I saw that one happen. It was right out in the open. That's a 15-yard. That's a major penalty. And Delta, we talked about him needing something positive. And young Draper kid, along with a penalty, has certainly supplied the first parts of that positive thing, as Delta has now moved from their own 35 to the Millard 35 in 2 plays plus a penalty. Now they'll break the bone for the second time in the game. They go trips right, one single wide receiver to the other side, Draper in the backfield, snap the ball, quick pitch to the outside behind the extra blockers, Draper down the sideline, and he's caught caught by Jackson Wardle as touchdown saving tackle as he's going to be dragged out of bounds at the 18-yard line. That's a great play.
In fact, in the last 2 carries, he goes for 12 yards, and then that one right there goes for 17. So just what the doctor ordered for Delta as this young man growing up in a hurry, only
he's
a sophomore.
Running hard. And it's not that, I mean, he's not just running. He is running hard and determined. He's really putting on a close show right now. Delta will go back to the inverted bone formation, double wide receiver. Again, Draper still at that tailback spot. Going to go counter. This time he's hit in the backfield and dropped.
Yep.
Hit immediately by Watcott and also by, I believe, Hayden Hunter there. Dropped immediately. Excuse me, let's say that's Watcott and Hunter. Drop him immediately. And, in fact, he'll lose 1 yard.
Dallin just didn't even have a chance to get his legs going as the defense was in the backfield at his ankles as he was picking the ball from taking it from the quarterback. So
he will stay in there at that tailback spot. And that, again, I see Riding stand on the sidelines, but he hasn't been back in. Draper still at that tailback, and Dutson at the quarterback. Inverted bone, no motion, fake it, come reverse. Back to this right-hand side, down the right-hand side. Off that option, he's going to be hit and taken down. A short gain on the play, and he's taken down by Jesse Robinson in on that tackle from his corner position. That looked like it had a lot more written on it, but it didn't.
Well, they ran it here. They ran it here to the short side of the field, and there's just too much traffic there. You could see he was waiting, hoping for that alley to open up, and it just never did.
But as you mentioned, they like to go right-hand, it seems. They like to go right-handed. And it'll be a 3rd down now and 9 on the play. 3 minutes left in this second quarter.
And it's been all Dallin Draper. He has carried the ball here 5 times. All 5 plays in this drive have gone to him.
Power I formation this time now. Power I instead of the inverted. Fumble on the snap. Quarterback grabs it, though, and makes the most out of it. Still on his feet.
Wow.
Struggles ahead to about the 5-yard line. Now they say there's a fumble, but the back judge will say it was down by contact before the fumble. So it will be Delta with a 1st and goal from the Millard 6-yard line.
And we've seen Millard do this a couple of times, Dennis. They fumble the snap, but they pick it up and get good yardage. And Jack Dutson just picked up 13 yards on the carry and what looked to be a disastrous play, but it works out well for the Rabbits.
I think where the play was supposed to go got all jumbled up. Had he handed that off, it probably wouldn't have been much. But by the fumble, the delay, and then he snuck out of there. Great play by the quarterback, heads-up play.
And that puts Delta over 100 yards rushing now at 102.
Inverted bone once again, double tight this time now. Snap comes back, fake. They'll give to the first back, but he's going nowhere, folks, as he's wrapped up. And Garcia, Hayden Hunter on the play, Garcia. And now there's a bit of pushing and shoving going on. Sebastian Garcia grabs the Millard player, and number 55 for Delta has to come and grab the Delta player and separate them. I believe it was Shamel. And I'm not sure who the Millard player was, but they grabbed him and drug him out of there before a penalty flag was thrown.
Might have been a loss on the play, and just Delta a little frustrated here as they have not been able to get on the board. And still 2nd down and goal. We'll see if they can get something here.
Power I formation once again left. Fake the first back. Quarterback keeps. He delayed, however, and that's going to cost him.
Yep.
As that delay cost him a chance to get into the hole. He tried to struggle forward, but he's going to be knocked down. Looks like about the 5-yard line. Rowley and Watcott in on the tackle. And it'll be a short gain back up to just about the 5-yard line. 3rd and goal. Now, thinking ahead, is this 4-down territory?
Absolutely.
Or do you take a field goal to get whatever you can?
No, Delta will go for it regardless.
So 2 downs to get 5 yards now for the Delta Rabbits. They'll come to the line of scrimmage again. Double tight ends, power I formation, Draper the tailback. Snap comes back, reverse pivot, counter play inside, touchdown Delta. And that's number 21, Rhett Schammel off that counter. Millard played for the power, and they come counter back through, and it's a touchdown for the Delta Rabbits.
Nice job by Rhett Schammel. You noticed he really covered up the ball as he knew he was going through traffic, but give the people up front a lot of credit. Jansen Manus, the center for the Rabbits, and went off that left guard. Usually Daxton Anderson is on that left side. He opened up a nice hole, and Delta gets in, and finally people in red over there have something to cheer about.
And that's an interesting play, too, because, the power I, it's the offset I. He had to wait for the tailback and the fullback to pass before he could counter back in. For the extra point try, the pass is going to be complete to number 21. Once again, Rhett Schammel on the receiving end from the quarterback, Dutson, and that makes the score 8-21. And that could be big if they could score a couple more touchdowns. They're automatically already up.
Boy, did they need that one, as Delta was just on their heels this whole first half. Give Dallin Draper a lot of credit as he carried the ball, as I mentioned. I believe he even got it 5-6 times in a row. Did the bulk of the work, got him down there, and then they finish it off with Schammel.
Makes the score 21-8 with 1 minute and 10 seconds left in the first half. Let's go back to the studio for a real quick timeout.
Roper Lumber in Fillmore is your full-service lumber yard, appliance center, and Ace Hardware store in Millard County. Whether it's a fix-it project, building a shed or addition, or just regular maintenance on the house, the friendly folks at Roper Lumber Ace Hardware are there to help. They also carry a wide selection of Whirlpool appliances, including stainless steel models at incredible prices. For all your hardware and lumber supplies, visit Roper Lumber Ace Hardware, 95 North Main Street in Fillmore.
Welcome back to Fillmore. Delta will be kicking off. Now they'll be kicking off from the 40-yard line, kicking for the Delta Rabbits. Number 89 for the Delta Rabbits.
Yep, that's Oscar Salis.
Oscar Salis. Left-footed kicker. The ball is deep, comes down at about the 10-yard line. It'll be taken by Jesse Robinson, veers off, looking for the reverse handoff. Millard has a bunch of reverses and things, but he didn't get there in time. He's knocked down before he has a chance to hand that ball off on the reverse. And so Millard will have it with 1 minute and 3 left on the clock at their own 23-yard line, 1st and 10. Nice play by the Delta Rabbits.
Yeah, I think that was Brandon Cahoon coming full bore down this right side that made the tackle. And it'll be interesting to see if they open up the playbook a little bit right here with just 1 minute 3 to go.
Well, it's tempting, but you don't want to give Delta anything more than they've already got.
Because right now
it's contended with your 13-point lead.
Delta right now, with those 2 turnovers, that's been the difference in the game.
They'll go inverted bone. Millard will. They'll put motion across to the right-hand side with Jesse Robinson. Hand off to the first back through. No, in fact, the quarterback keeps it off the right-hand side. He makes it to the outside and will move across the 20-yard line, 25-yard line, up to about the 28-yard line, and taken down there after a gain of about 4 yards on the play.
And I think that was Jason Hatch over on that far side that made a nice hit on him.
Millard letting the clock run now, 38. Of course, they have no timeouts left. They've taken all 3 of theirs. Again, inverted bone, but they're going to put now the quarterback back in the pistol formation in the middle of that inverted bone. Snap comes back, looking for a pass, looking deep. He's going to go outside. Marshall with it. He's going to be taken down.
Oh.
Ball is fumbled.
Ball was fumbled, apparently.
This one on this side is waving it as being dead. On that side, they didn't wave it dead. Now they're going to say it is a 1st and 10 for the Delta Rabbits.
There was really a hit. He made the catch, and just as he went to turn up, he really got clocked right there.
Did not see who the recovery was by or the tackle, but that was a great hit. And this, what looked like a safe play turns in now to disaster for the Millard Eagles and a great opportunity for the Delta Rabbits. It's only 16 seconds left, but Delta has it 1st and 10 at the Millard 33-yard line.
So he had enough for the first down. It was about a 7-8 yard completion.
Delta will call timeout to look at this one, and we'll go back to the studio.
The Fillmore City Mayor and City Council and staff members are excited about the Millard Eagles this sports season. They'd like to congratulate the Millard High School team members, the coaches, faculty, staff, and student body on a great season and wish them the very best in this year's playoff. The entire city fully supports education and athletics in molding the future leaders of our area. Fillmore City would like all involved to know that they're behind them 100%. Happy to be Millard Eagles Sports Booster. Fillmore City, go Eagles!
Millard County residents are accustomed to friendly service, quality grocery items, and convenient prices at Dwayne's Food Town in Fillmore. Dwayne's Food Town prides itself on providing the choicest cuts of meat in their meat department, assuring they offer the freshest produce available, and providing the best value on every grocery item in the store. Stop in and discover for yourself the hometown service and attention that you deserve at Dwayne's Food Town, located at 375 South Main in Fillmore. Proud to support the Eagles this year.
Welcome back. Delta again with the ball. 1st and 10 in great field territory, but time a bit of an issue with 16 seconds. Handoff fake to the first back over the middle. Ball is tipped at the line of scrimmage by Sebastian, or maybe Watcott will fall incomplete as he tried to hit the seam pattern right there up the middle and knocked away by, we'll say, Watcott on that play with 13 seconds left. 2nd and 10.
I believe that was Trevor Burton in the game running right down the seam, and he turned to look for the ball, couldn't find it. That's because it was tipped way short.
At the line of scrimmage, yeah. Millard now will be again be in that 4-4 alignment. They are going to move some people around a little bit deep, and Delta comes up in the inverted bone. Going to put motion, Shamo in motion. Give to the first back. He's in the secondary. That's Shamo with the ball.
Yep.
He was not in motion, but Shamo moves the ball ahead quickly to about the 20-yard line. It'll be a 1st and 10, 7 seconds left, and Delta will have the ball, the time stopped on the alignment of the chains. They're going to come to the line of scrimmage so as not to lose time. Back at that tailback is Reagan Riding. Clock starts, slam. They're going to put the ball down. They're going to kill it. Why didn't they just call timeout? Don't they have timeouts left?
I thought they might have one left. And there's a chance they could kick a field goal here. Oscar Salis, he's got a good leg. He's a soccer player, and he's never kicked one before, but
they kill the clock with 4 seconds left. They really didn't have time to make a call of a play, so they had to kill it somehow. I just thought they had some timeouts left. So they will have it 2nd down. Now they're going to call a timeout. So they will call timeout, and we will go back to the studio.
Hi, I'm Mark Huntsman, Senior Vice President of Sunrise Engineering. I would like to thank all of our loyal clients and employees who have contributed to the success of our company. Sunrise Engineering has been recently recognized nationally in the top 500 engineering firms and as a recipient of the National Client Satisfaction Award 5 years in a row. We are presently expanding at Sunrise and are looking to add engineers, surveyors, and other support staff. To join our team, visit our website or call Sunrise Engineering at 800-560-6151.
Stop in at Service Drug in Delta or Fillmore and take advantage of the summer specials going on with KitchenAid appliances. From now through September 30th, purchase a KitchenAid stand mixer and receive a free ice cream maker attachment, a $79 value. Or purchase a KitchenAid juicer and receive a $50 prepaid Visa card. Stop by today and start saving at Service Drug, where we're dedicated to your good health and good value. Service Drug, 215 West Main Street, Delta, 40 North Main Street, Fillmore. Experience service first at Service Drug in Delta and Fillmore.
Welcome back. Delta lined up in the inverted bone. They're going to put motion across the right side. Back to pass. The quarterback looking deep. He's got receivers out. He's got one in the middle. Oh, that's a pass interference if nothing else.
Wow.
Whoa, he got away with it. That was pass interference. He grabbed the young man and pulled him back, but he got away with it. No penalty called. The receiver's going to go back and say, hey, wait a minute. He was riding me. And I think he was.
Yeah, you heard kind of a ooh from the crowd, because I think a lot of people saw it and was thinking that might draw a flag, but it doesn't, and that ends the half.
I'm sorry, but I think it should have. I do think it should have called a penalty because he pulled him back, and it was right off of his fingertips. So anyway, you look at it, it's in the books now, and it's 21-8 for the Millard Eagles at the end of the half as they go to the locker room. We'll go back to the studio for 3 minutes. Then we'll have the halftime show.
The type of medical care you receive shouldn't depend on where you live. People in rural towns should receive high-quality medicine just like those in big cities. Delta Community Medical Center and Fillmore Community Medical Center both provide the same quality care and advanced technology you'd receive if you drove to the city. What they do well. Intermountain's Fillmore Community Medical Center and Delta Community Medical Center. Healing for life.
Millard County Credit Union in Fillmore and Delta sincerely appreciate your business over the years. Not only will you find amazingly low interest rates, automobile and RV loans, checking, Visa accounts, bill pay, and debit cards, but their new Flex Teller service at millardccu.com will make it convenient to manage all your credit union accounts from home. Flex Teller is coming soon and will provide members with mobile banking and remote deposit capture. Millard County Credit Union in Delta and Fillmore, a proud sponsor of this sports broadcast. Stevens Feed and Holden serves the surrounding communities in Millard County as well as farmers in central and southern Utah. They buy and sell alfalfa hay and can haul your hay to wherever it needs to go. You can be assured that you'll get the right price while receiving the service you deserve when buying and selling hay. The entire crew appreciates farmers and ranchers for their business over the years, and they're happy to contribute to the school and community as a sports booster. That's Stevens Feed and Holden, a proud supporter of Millard Athletics.
How long has it been since you performed at your peak? Dr. Jordan Meekum at Peak Performance Chiropractic and Sports Rehab Center in Delta wants to help you reach your peak performance in everything you do. Whether it's at work, the golf course, the field, the hardwood, in the mountains, or maybe most importantly, playing with your kids, Dr. Meekum provides services for everything from back pain, headaches, shoulder, elbow, and wrist pain, foot and ankle injuries, and pain that comes with pregnancy. Visit PerformPeak.com to schedule your appointment today at Peak Performance in Delta or call 435-864-2000.
The government and community leaders in Millard County today were molded into the people they have become by the experiences and opportunities during their high school years. The same stands true for the future leaders of Delta City. That's why the City Council and Mayor of Delta are thoroughly invested in providing opportunities for the students of Delta High School to assist them in reaching their potential. Delta City appreciates the opportunity to support Delta High School academics and this Delta Rabbit sports broadcast.
Vince Lombardi once said, "The measure of who we are is what we do with what we have." The quote rings true whether applied to our country, our schools, our homes, or on the field of play. We applaud our student athletes for their hard work and determination on the field and in the classroom. Brought to you by Sunrise Engineering, promoting excellence in sports and education. Visit us at sunrise-eng.com. That's sunrise-eng.com.
Welcome back to Millard High School. Tonight's action between the cross-county rivals, the Millard Eagles and the visiting Delta Rabbits. The halftime score that we have, 21-8 for the Millard Eagles, as an interesting game to start with. Delta seemed to have the impetus offensively. Finally, Millard breaks a long one, 34 yards for a touchdown, and that seemed to kind of switch the momentum a little bit as from that point on. Millard goes on to score a total of 21 points, and Delta looked like they were about finished. And then they put together a drive and marched down the field and stick it in the end zone and nearly get another one before the half is over. So it's back to being a game, and both teams will come out with a lot of excitement the third quarter. Speaking of excitement, you got the cross-county rivals. For halftime, you had the Millard Selgies and the Delta Tridels on the field together, putting on a performance together. Tremendous thing to see. And again, that's what the cross-county rivals should be: is do your best to beat the other guys,
Absolutely.
but let's be sports, and let's work together because we are all Millard.
Absolutely, and I've got so many good.
Delta doesn't like that, but it's still Millard County.
Yeah, well, I've got a lot of good friends over on this side of the county, believe it or not. And,
but they don't say the same about you.
I'm sure they don't. Yeah.
Yeah. And
yeah, that's nice. And, you know, I'm just waiting for the invitation for dinner afterwards. I'm sure there'll be several here that will say, hey, I'd like to have you come and eat dinner with us tonight. I haven't heard anything from you as of yet, but counting on it.
I'm waiting for someone to offer me a dinner, too. No, it's great. You know, there have been times, though, you know, when this rivalry in years past when
got a little ugly.
Farms were bet on this thing, you know,
Yeah.
and it did get ugly, and money changed hands. And there for a while, it seemed like whoever won this game ended up in the state tournament, the state championship. And these have been big. Now, these teams aren't quite at that level now, but there have been those times when it was blood and guts, and police had to escort people out of town and escort coaches off the field or come in to get the coach off the field in one case. But we've been around long enough to have seen a lot of things. But good people on both sides of the county. It's a good place to be and reside. It's a great place to raise children.
Oh, absolutely. Got to love Millard County. And, it doesn't matter where you go. You can bring up the Millard Eagles or the Delta Rabbits, and somebody's going to know something about that school. It's just the way it is. I don't care where you're at in the country. Yep. There's just people that know the tradition and what's going on out here.
That's right. Well, we'll be back in a little while with some statistics from our head stat man, Ken Wilson. They're perfect and they're excellent, and they'll be right on point. Let's go back for 3 more minutes, and then we'll be back.
When I was thinking about going back to school, I got pretty nervous, just knowing I had a young family and money was tight for us. As a mother, online courses were perfect for my busy schedule. One of the things that was huge for me was how affordable this program was. Without the online courses, I know I wouldn't be able to finish school or transfer to a major university. I will always be grateful for Snow College in helping me reach my goals and helping me set the pathway for my future.
This sports broadcast is brought to you by Materion Natural Resources in Delta, Utah. Materion is the world's primary source of high-quality beryllium concentrate, which is used in nuclear test reactors, military aircraft, satellites, scientific telescopes, electrical connectors, and medical devices. Materion works closely with government agencies and reclamation plans and to comply with pollution standards in the Topaz Mountain areas. The company and employees at Materion Natural Resources fully support the schools and communities in Millard County. Mountain Land Supply of Richfield is the central Utah leader in plumbing, waterworks, turf, and ag irrigation. Mountain Land Supply features an entire line of Rainbird sprinklers and systems for your yard or commercial property, and backs it up with an extremely knowledgeable staff that cares about the local community because they live here. Visit them at 2104 South Red Hills Drive in Richfield or call for a showroom appointment 435-896-9606. Mountain Land Supply is proud to sponsor high school sports and wishes the teams, coaches, and players success.
Millard, Chevron, Subway, and Texaco are happy to support Millard High School. Not only can you stop in for top-quality gasoline and oil products, but you can fill up on snacks, goodies, and drinks. You'll also find their irresistible, world-famous fried chicken and potato logs. Miller's can also service your vehicle with mechanical service or a new set of tires. And dine in on delicious and healthy meal selections at Subway. That's Millard, Chevron, Subway, and Texaco on the North I-15 interchange in Fillmore, proud to sponsor the player of the game.
Have you heard? Central Valley Medical Center is now providing orthopedic surgery. That's right, Dr. Joel Holman is a full-time orthopedic surgeon practicing in Nephi. You no longer need to drive to the Wasatch Front for hip replacement, knee replacement, fracture care, hand surgery, and general orthopedic care. Dr. Holman completed a residency in general orthopedics and a fellowship in hand surgery at the U of U and sees patients in the Nephi Medical Clinic inside Central Valley Medical Center. Call 435-623-3633, 623-3633. Kern River Gas Transmission wishes the Millard Eagles good luck this season and reminds everyone that damage from others digging into a pipeline is one of the main causes of pipeline failures. Never guess where a pipeline is located. Whether you're a farmer, rancher, or homeowner, if you plan to dig, call Blue Stakes to make sure all utilities are marked. Call Blue Stakes at 800-662-4111 or the new national 811 number at least 48 hours before digging. Kern River Gas Transmission Company reminds you to call before you dig. It's free. It's the law.
Welcome back to Millard High School. Nice shot of the moon there if you're following us on the TV station, Centricom. Beautiful shot of the moon rising over the mountains here. A nice setting. Beautiful, I guess we could call it a fall day, although it's kind of warm during the daytime. But it's a beautiful night for football. Dennis Aldridge with Ken Nilsson. You bring in the action with the Millard Eagles and the Delta Rabbits. We're going to turn the time over to Ken now. He's got some statistics and also some other scores of interest from around the state and around the area.
In fact, let's just take a quick look at the numbers from this one here tonight. First of all, the visitors from Delta. And you may find this a little bit interesting as you hear some of these numbers, Dennis. First of all, Delta with 25 carries here tonight for 121 yards. That's pretty respectable for a half. Throwing the ball has not worked out real well for the Rabbits this evening. They are 1 for 7 for 15 yards, but they have the 2 picks that were very costly. They shut drives down. If you remember, the first pick was down around the 30. that shut a drive down, and then the second one was coming back the other way down around the 40. So, things that they're going to learn. They'll grow from it. Jack Dustin, this is the first year he started as the varsity quarterback. He's had quite a bit of time as the JV, and he'll come along with that. So overall, 136 total yards for the Rabbits here tonight. Dallin Draper, very respectable, 10 carries on the night, 60 yards, so he's averaging 6 yards a pop. And Delta, the one touchdown came from Rhett Shamo as a 5-yard carry. As far as Millard is concerned, 14 carries tonight for 98 yards. They're just about at that century mark. Very efficient in their passing game, 2 for 3, throwing the ball for a total of 58 yards. And boy, the one was such a pretty pass. If you remember, I believe it came down
to Marshall.
Caught it in stride, took it in for the touchdown, 51 yards. They started that drive at the 50. They lost a yard on the first play, and then they stepped back and throw him. There was nobody around him, and it was just smooth sailing all the way in. But total yardage for the Eagles tonight, 156 on the evening. And Brunson, 4 carries, 48 yards. And I believe he has 2 of those touchdowns along with that 151-yard pass completion. But overall, this is what kind of surprises you a little bit between these two teams, simply because they are so much alike. But Delta with 34 offensive plays, Millard right now with 18, yet 21-8 on the scoreboard.
Yeah. Well, and like you said, Delta, this could have been a totally different score except for some of the penalties and the turnovers that happened to the Delta Rabbits, that killed drives because the yardage and the plays and everything were mounting up in their favor. Yeah, but those things hurt them badly.
So we continue on at the halftime show here. Let's jump into some scores from around the state. Canyon View taking on Emory, and these are 2 common opponents for Delta a little bit later in the year. Canyon View blanking Emory 22-0. And if you remember the score last week, Emory and Summit Academy, that was a 57-44 game. So you go from scoring 57 one week to not putting anything up right now. Now they're still late in the second quarter, but wow. Pretty good turnaround.
And that was interesting because I watched the Summit Academy team last night on TV, and I thought, how did Emory beat these guys? Because they've got some good things. They
played for it, did they not, last year?
Yeah, they did, and they lost everything.
Wow.
But the quarterback they picked up from Lone Peak, and I'm sure it's a legal transfer, was tremendous.
Wow. A few other scores. Duchesne leads North Summit. A little bit surprising there, 7-0 at the half. Wow. Grantsville trails Juab 14-6. Still 6 minutes to go in the second quarter. 3 minutes to go in that first quarter. Gunnison leading North Sevier. We haven't seen an update on that one. That one is a 14-7 ball game. Beaver in the first still leads Kanab 7-0. As we look on down through the scores, American Leadership Academy right now ahead of Layton Christian 21-0. And we'll get a few more here as soon as my phone will update for us here. I got a text right in the middle of the scores coming up for me. It kind of shut me down a little bit right here. But right now, Delta feeling a little bit better as we talked, as they're back in this one 21-8.
They're going to get some
we'll let Nate take care of us.
Advantage. He's going to hook us up to the Wi-Fi.
And you know what? I got to throw some kudos to Mid-Utah Radio and Centricom. Nate here with us tonight, keeping us on and off. You know, how great is that for these kids to be able – you get to see them on television. They're on the internet. They're on the radio. They're getting a lot of exposure. You know, back when you played, you know.
Super 8.
Good heavens.
There you go. You keep jumping, but just settle down.
You know. Oh, there goes the halftime show.
Yes.
Once again, honestly, they got the can and stick it in the window right here of the press box besides. I was giving a lot of credit to Centricom and all the good people over there, and you shoot that cannon off. This takes me completely out of my thought process.
So. I don't know if you're going to survive the night.
My goodness.
Once again, while Ken collects himself and checks himself out, making sure everything's all right. Let's go back to studios. Both teams are on the field, but they got to warm up for 3 minutes. Let's go back for a couple of minutes.
The all-new truck of the year, the Chevrolet Colorado, has arrived at Drew Bay Chevrolet. Check out the all-new innovations in a mid-size truck, 305 horsepower and up to 26 miles per gallon highway. The best-in-class payload, towing, and the quietest ride on the road from any mid-size pickup. For the safest ride in a mid-size truck, look no further. High-strength steel frame, rolled form steel pickup box, 6 airbags, and new active security technology all combined to make your Chevrolet Colorado the right stuff. The Chevrolet Colorado at Drew Bay Chevrolet.
Flowell Electric wants their customers to be safe around electricity. And here's a few tips. First, don't use an electrical appliance around water. Another tip is to call Blue Stakes to have utility lines marked before you dig in your yard. And never damage power company equipment because it causes needless power outages, creates safety hazards, and results in higher power rates. Flowell Electric, a proud supporter of Millard High School.
At Level Pharmacy in Delta, health is wealth. Level Pharmacy offers drive-through service, delivery service, and compounding. Level Pharmacy isn't just a place to pick up your medications either. They have baby supplies, gifts and decorations, jewelry and purses, BYU ice cream, a soda fountain, Jackson Hole soda, candy, children's toys, a photo kiosk, and a wedding registry. Shop Level Pharmacy, where laughter is the best medicine, on Main Street in Delta.
The Intermountain Power Service Corporation is proud to bring you this presentation. IPSC is a community-minded company that contributes to our local schools, community organizations, and economy. The Intermountain Power Project consistently ranks among the best of America's coal-based power plants in reliability, cost-effectiveness, and environmental responsibility. Intermountain Power Service Corporation strives for perfection and is honored to be actively involved with Delta, Millard, and Juab High Schools.
The new Carl's Jr. Mushroom and Swiss All-Natural Burger.
Roper Lumber in Fillmore is your full-service lumber yard, appliance center, and Ace Hardware store in Millard County. Whether it's a fix-it project, building a shed or addition, or just regular maintenance on the house, the friendly folks at Roper Lumber Ace Hardware are there to help. They also carry a wide selection of Whirlpool appliances, including stainless steel models at incredible prices. For all your hardware and lumber supplies, visit Roper Lumber, Ace Hardware, 95 North Main Street in Fillmore.
Welcome back to Fillmore, Utah. Just getting ready to start the second half of the game between the Millard Eagles and the Delta Rabbits. And Millard will be receiving this second half as they declined in the first half, and Delta took the ball. So Delta will be kicking off to the Millard Eagles, and that might be lucky for Millard as Delta had grabbed all the momentum there before the half ended and looked to really get back in this football game. Now Millard will have a chance offensively to try and do some damage and maybe put the dagger back in a little bit, as it were, into the Delta Rabbits.
Well, we'll see what kind of adjustments both teams made as they went into the locker room. I'm sure they went over several things. Obviously, turnovers, a big thing for the Rabbits, especially those 2 interceptions there in the first half. But I got to give them credit. They did seem to kind of regain their composure. That, as you mentioned, the one drive they did score on, 9 plays, 65 yards for the Rabbits to get in for that touchdown. So let's see what happens right here.
Oscar Silas with the kickoff. He'll be kicking to our north. Nice kick deep down to about the 10-yard line. Receiver for Millard will come back to the inside. He's going to be hit about the 25, and taken down about the 27-yard line. And Millard will have it 1st and 10 at that point. Nice kick by Silas that time.
Left-footed kid, and as I mentioned, I think he's a soccer player and just loves sports. He came out, and I think it was sometime in practice they were saying, who can kick it? And he said, well, I can try it, and they brought him out, and he's really done a nice job for him.
The soccer kids have really helped the Millard Eagles, too, with the kicking program through the years. Millard will open up now in the broken bone. Twin receivers to the right-hand side. And the quarterback in the shotgun position. Puts in the belly of the first back, and a give to the first back through on the option read. And that'll be moved ahead in a short gain. And I believe that was Daniel Whitaker on that carry. And they'll move it ahead for a gain of about a yard on the play.
And with that carry, that gets them to 99 yards rushing on the night. So obviously, next positive run is going to get them over the century mark. With the big 51-yard pass play, that right now that looms big for both teams because that really got Millard out and going.
Jesse Robinson in motion across the formation. Brunson with it to the outside. Cuts back inside. There's going to be a penalty flag down. He'll move the ball ahead to about the 35-yard line, but this is going to probably be a block in the back or a clip of some sort back around the 30-yard line.
You know, this game started out with a host of penalty flags. It kind of settled down as we got into the second quarter.
It is a hold against the Millard Eagles on the perimeter. That'll back them up 10 yards from the point of the penalty. It'll put the ball back to the 20-yard line, and it'll be a repeat of second down, second now and about 17.
And, you know, you can say that's a 10-yard penalty, but in reality, it's about a 15-yard penalty because where they were up to, that holding call, that really, really hurts.
Millard will come back up in the inverted bone now. They'll put motion this time across to the left-hand side. Reverse inside, and Whitaker gets away. Down the center of the field he goes.
I'm not sure
this
if
is
they'll catch
Brunson,
him.
I think, and he's headed for a touchdown. Huge play out of that penalty. No penalty flags down.
Oh,
excuse me. We do have a penalty on the sideline. I hope that
it's going to be a sideline warning.
You would hope that would be a sideline warning. The cannon goes off anyway. It is a sideline warning, so that will not take the touchdown away from the Eagles. The team and the coaches get so excited they get on the field and the official can't get down the sideline. That's about what that amounts to. It will be a touchdown, and that's Brunson, and that's how many yards? 80 yards?
80 yards.
And right up the middle, too.
Yeah.
He was the dive back, it looked like, or maybe the second dive, right up the middle of the field. That gets him over 100 yards rushing.
Wow. Yep. Sure does. 179 with that one right there.
And in to kick the extra point in the attempt will be Garcia, Sebastian Garcia. And he's been perfect thus far on the night. Jesse Robinson with the hold. Snap is back, ball is down, kick is up, perfectly through. So Sebastian Garcia remains perfect from that kicking. And it's 28 now to 8. And you held your composure that time. I'm proud of you. Let's go back to studio for a quick timeout.
Mountain Land Supply of Richfield is the Central Utah leader in plumbing, waterworks, turf, and ag irrigation. Mountain Land Supply features a beautiful showroom with brands you know and trust, like Moen, Delta, American Standard, Toto, Aquatic, LK, Growy, and more. They've also got what every farmer needs as a Valley distributor for all your agricultural supplies, from pivots and sprinklers to wheel lines and water troughs. Visit Mountain Land Supply Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. at 2104 South Red Hills Drive in Richfield. Roper Lumber in Fillmore is your full-service lumber yard, appliance center, and Ace Hardware store in Millard County. Whether it's a fix-it project, building a shed or addition, or just regular maintenance on the house, the friendly folks at Roper Lumber Ace Hardware are there to help. They also carry a wide selection of Whirlpool appliances, including stainless steel models at incredible prices. For all your hardware and lumber supplies, visit Roper Lumber Ace Hardware, 95 North Main Street in Fillmore.
Garcia's kick comes down around the 8-yard line, and veering to his right-hand side, the running back for Delta, number 44 for Delta, Jason Hatch. He'll get the ball back just across the 20, looks like about the 22-yard line, where it will be 1st and 10 for the Delta Rabbits. But, you know, those are backbreakers. You battle yourself back into a game, and then in one play, the running back goes 80 yards on you. That's tough. Those are hard to recover from.
You know, once again, as I was talking in the halftime show until the cannon blew my glasses off. 18 plays in the first half for Millard, and now add to it 20 plays is all they've run in this game, Dennis. So they've got 28 points on the board.
Yeah.
Talk about being efficient.
Yeah. Delta will hand off the first back through. They'll give to the second back through now on the counter option, and he'll get a nice gain. I think that's. Well, no, that's still.
I think that might be Draper again.
That's still Draper in there. It's Silas, or excuse me, the little tailback riding was in at the end of the half there for a play or two when Draper got tired, but they've run Draper back out there. That's a 6-yard gain for Draper on first down. It'll be a 2nd down and 4 now from the 29-yard line of Delta. Inverted bone once again. Looking for the first back through this time. No one quite sure where he's at. Then the scrum gets driven backwards, and Watcott, Hayden Hunter looks like possibly in on that tackle, and they're going to move the ball to the 30-yard line.
Chameau coming up a little bit gimpy, and I'm hoping it's just a cramp.
He's got cramps. He's trying to stretch him out, and he's going to go down. They'll have to come out and attend to him quickly. When we come back, we'll go to the studio, but when we come back, it'll be a 3rd down and probably 3. Well, maybe we won't go. They're going to get him off the field. I thought they'd attend to him on the field, but he's able to get up and get off under his own power. He is limping. That is a cramp, and they do hurt. They'll work that out on him.
The good thing is his dad, Dr. Chameau, is he's one of the assistant coaches, and he travels with the team. He's over there, and I'm sure he'll work on him.
In the Fillmore area, we like to get our people over there for an important person and put a neck collar on them and haul them off to the hospital so they can't come back in the game. That's not going to happen this time. 3rd and short for the Delta Rabbits. Give to the first back. Quarterback keeps it now. He's going to come across the line of scrimmage. I think he'll have enough for the 1st down as he scrambles forward, kind of a quarterback follow the fullback play there. In fact, we used to call it that way. It is enough for a 1st down. Not by much, but it is enough, and it'll be a 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line now of the Delta Rabbits.
But again, it's a situation, Dennis, where you find yourself, you're down by 20, and your offense really isn't designed for the quick hitter. So,
well, Millard has been tonight.
Boy, it sure has.
But, yeah, you're right. This is generally a ground and pound type of an offense. Quick pitch to the outside off the option. Draper makes a nice cut, beats the first tackler, and is able to pick up nice yardage down to almost the 40-yard line. Looks like they're going to mark him at about the 38-yard line. And it'll be a nice pickup for Draper. He's done a heck of a job, and I'm assuming that's why Riding hasn't gotten back on the field. Not that he's hurt. He's just getting the job done.
Yeah, very curious. It'll be interesting to see what the situation was down there. But Draper, he's really picking it up. He had 60 yards at halftime.
Well, he gets another 6 there on that play. And now Delta comes to the line of scrimmage. A little confusion in the backfield. Quarterback had to straighten out the play. He's still working with him to try and get him straightened out. Under center now, no motion, straight ahead. Reverse action to the backside. This time, though, he's not going to get to Draper as he's caught in the backfield and spun down. And I'm trying to get a number on that. That's number 10, and that would be Whitaker for the Millard Eagles out of his linebacking position.
And that play was doomed from the start. As you mentioned, as you were calling the play, Jack was trying to get his people set in the right position, telling them where to go, and then it just blew up on him once they snapped it.
And it was dangerous, too. Once before, he kind of got caught in that position. He was able to flip the ball out. That time he had it in one hand, and you thought, is he going to try it again?
Yeah.
He wisely finally tucked it under. It'll be a loss of a bunch. It'll be 3rd down and 11 now. Motion across the formation, back to pass. Pass, a looping pass. This should be a penalty here, and it is. As penalty flags fly as the defender and the receiver bumped into each other, and you can't do that. And I think the defender was trying to get back, but not quickly enough, and he impeded the progress of that offensive receiver. And that'll probably get Delta a 1st down here.
Yep, going to move the ball up across the 45, so it gives them new life. And boy, did they need it.
The coaches are pleading the case that it's a 15-yarder, that he was in his own position. The receiver ran into him, but still, you impeded the progress of that offensive receiver, and you were not playing the ball.
And they'll usually give you 5, 6, 7 yards with that, but once you get out, kind of out, it was out in the open in front of everybody, and I think the referee just felt like he had to call it that far downfield.
1st and 10 for the Delta Rabbits at their own 47-yard line now as they get new life. Hand off the second back through on the counter action. That's Draper. He's going to get a few yards. Penalty flies again. The ball is at dead midfield, it looks like, which would be a pickup of about 3 yards. Who's the penalty on? Is this a helmet to the head, or is this a face masking penalty? Delta looks like they're excited. It is. We're going to blow it dead. Okay, he's coming all the way over. Is he giving a number to the coaches? Personal foul, face mask, that's the big kind. That's 15 yards. From the point, that'll be a 20-yard penalty.
So give him 3 on the carry. And again, right now it's the penalties that's moving the ball downfield for Delta.
But this, this is not right for the Millard Eagles either, because you got Delta in a hole, you got 3rd and long, and here come these penalties.
Yep.
And you've just now given them 30 yards in penalties, plus the ball, the yardage gained by the runs. So Delta now at the Millard 35-yard line, in great position now to get some momentum back. Full house backfield, inverted bone. Hand off to the first back through, and he gets away from everybody, headed down the field, and he escaped all detection there. Gets clear down to about the 20-yard line. Great run.
That's Rhett Schammel coming back in after the cramp.
Great play. Rhett Schammel back in the game.
14 on the carry for Rhett. He's been a bright spot for the Rabbits tonight. He does have the one lone touchdown for the Rabbits, and he, as we mentioned, he gets those hard yards.
Yeah, he and Draper have done tremendously tonight.
Yep.
And now, again, the inverted bone. Dutson under center. Give to the second back through. That's Draper. He's caught from behind. He'll get a yard or two, but that's all, as he's caught from behind by Daniel Whitaker. Again, the linebacker making penetration into the backfield, catching him from behind and dragging him down. Otherwise, he had made a big gain there. Pickup of 1.5 to 2.
And, in this offense Delta's running, they really should have someone for everybody. And tonight, there's just been too many people in the backfield. I'm sure Coach Fowles will watch the game film and see what's going on up front. Who are we missing that they're getting in like that?
Good penetration, and he's coming from a linebacking spot.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's coming from a long ways making tackles.
Split the bone, trips out, back to pass, screen in the middle. It's to Draper, but that's sniffed out nicely by the Millard Eagles, as he's going to maybe lose yardage on this one. Takes a hard shot. He's slow getting up. And linebacker there, I believe, big linebacker, and Hayden Hunter and the big guy Watcott in the middle. And that is a loss on the play. It'll be 3rd and 10 now.
Boy, they just read it perfectly and just stayed home. And Delta's lucky just to hang on to that one, because you're right, Draper really took a shot.
The offensive lineman had gone too far downfield and left the defense in spot. Once again, the inverted bone. Fake the handoff. Quarterback keep trying to bootleg out, and he's going to be dropped for a loss. And on the play that time was Brunson, I believe, aided by Kyler Rowley, and another big loss on the play. And now you've gone from a situation of 4 down definite territory. I guess you have to go for it here.
I think
you're
you do.
only on the 28-yard line. Punting it would probably go in the end zone. You gain nothing from that. So you take a chance on something and try to get as much as you can, maybe a first down.
And poor Jack Dustin just had no chance. As soon as he took the snap, turned around, the defense was there.
Not a bit fooled. You got trips out to the right-hand side. Draper, the single setback. Brunson, the quarterback, rolling out behind it. He's got a receiver down there, and it's overthrown and intercepted by the Millard Eagles. And they're going to say it is a touchback, I believe, as he is in the end zone. And he did intercept the ball. That's one of those things it's a great thing to do, but the reality of the young man, if he had knocked it down, Millard has it at the 28. If you intercept it, it's at the 20. But that time the ball just terribly overthrown by Dutson.
Yeah. Well,
or the receiver stopped.
I was just going to say, and to kind of not to bail Jack out on that one, but the receiver really did not continue on with his route. He gave up on it. The defensive back didn't.
Yeah. So Millard will take it over on. They're winning the war of turnovers tonight so far, and they'll take it. They'll run twins out to the right-hand side. It's broken bone, pistol position for the quarterback. Put the ball in the stomach of the first back. Now that worked the last time they had it for quite a gain. This time it's going to maybe get a yard at the most, as the ball is handed off to Whitaker in that one, and maybe got a yard. It'll be 2nd down and 9 on the play for the 2nd down play.
Dennis, how about this? 180 yards rushing now for Millard. They have really turned it up. Of course, 80 yards helps.
Well, you got to run a 34 for a touchdown and 80 for a touchdown, so that's 114 yards on 2 plays. Millard in the inverted bone. They're going to put motion across, and Jesse Robinson reverse pivot, hand off to the second back through. That's Brunson. He's trying to get to the outside. This time he will not make it, however. He's taken down quickly by number 47 for Delta, and that's Brandon
Atkinson coming up, making a nice play.
That tackle. Brunson was trying to bounce to the outside where he's had a lot of success running the ball, just didn't get there. It'll be 3rd down now and 8.
Yeah, Atkinson did a nice job reading that. He didn't bite on the first back through, stayed home, and then really got out and made a nice play because it looked like it might go for some yards.
Now he's trying to bounce that thing to the outside, just couldn't get there. Atkinson was hanging on. So Millard comes up now in a broken bone formation to the left-hand side. Pitch to the outside to Brunson. He's trying to get that outside corner. He's out there, hit hard and taken down on the play first. Number 11 for the Delta Rabbits.
That's Jake Day. If that's number 11, Jake's in there.
Jake Day come up off that corner position, looked like, and hit him hard and takes him down. And it's going to be a 4th down and long as Millard lost a yard on that play.
Great play by Day. Boy, he showed some speed there coming up and then really just took him head on.
Flew up in there and racked him right there. So it's going to be a punt formation. And Millard now will be back to punt in Kyler Rowley. And the receivers for Delta have backed way up as a result of the last couple of kicks that he's made. This is a low one. It's going to bounce and get a nice roll. Whoa, no, it stops and goes straight in the air. Now it's going to get a roll. There'll be no run back, but it will be dead at the 37-yard line. That's one of those end-over-end. You expected that thing to hit and just
I thought
keep
it would take off.
rolling. But it hit and checked up and went straight in the air. Delta will have it. Their own 38-yard line, 1st and 10. And, you have a sense that if they can stay away from penalty or interception, they can run all night on this thing. But time becoming an issue, though. 2 minutes left in the third quarter. They need 3 touchdowns to catch the Millard Eagles, so time becomes a huge issue. Come to the line of scrimmage in the inverted bone once again. They're going to put the tailback in motion. Reverse pivot, give to the first back through. That's Shammo. And Shammo will be taken back by Hunter and also by number 25, and that would be Coyle after a nice pickup of 8 yards on the play.
Yeah, Rhett Shammo has really come to life here in this second half. He has carried the ball several times, but he went off, you remember, had a cramp.
Yep. Dr. Shammo took care of it.
Fixed him up, rubbed a little dirt on it.
Millard's people didn't get the neck collar on him. So 2nd down and short now, about 4 yards. This time again, the tailback in motion. Reverse pivot, fake the first back through. Quarterback keep. He's in the secondary in the open. He's going to be caught from behind by Jackson Wardle and also by Coyle. But a nice run by the quarterback.
And it sure looked like it was an option play to the right. And again, the penetration was there. He couldn't make the pitch. This time makes the right decision. Just turns and goes. And that's by far his best run here tonight of 20 yards.
Give him a 1st and 10 at the Millard 36-yard line now. Again, inverted bone. Once again, they sticking with that formation. Now what have we got?
Got a flag flying here from the near side.
Did somebody say something unkind to that official?
Might have been. Did he hear you?
No, I didn't say anything unkind.
Boy, he threw it about as high as I've seen an official throw a flag.
Penalty, dead ball, unsportsmanlike against the, I would have to say that's the bench.
So somebody here on this near side must have said something.
Then he had to walk through, nobody on the Millard side, but even pick up his flag. It was clear out on the track.
He's going to explain it to Coach Sheriff. Coach Sheriff was down near the 50, so it wasn't him, I can tell you that.
There's some other people standing there that I would have my suspicions. But let's take a timeout real quick as timeout is called on the field.
With internet service from Centracom, you get a fast, reliable connection to a world of information and inspiration. Just choose the bandwidth package that fits your needs and your budget. Every package delivers consistent speeds that bring the best of the web into your life. And we offer local, over-the-phone, technical, and professional IT support. It's why Centracom is now our area's #1 internet provider. Add internet to your bundle and save. Call or visit Centracom.com today.
The Fillmore City Mayor and City Council and staff members are excited about the Millard Eagles this sports season. They'd like to congratulate the Millard High School team members, the coaches, faculty, staff, and student body on a great season and wish them the very best in this year's playoff. The entire city fully supports education and athletics in molding the future leaders of our area. Fillmore City would like all involved to know that they're behind them 100%. Happy to be Millard Eagles Sports Booster. Fillmore City, go Eagles.
Play is back in, riding on the handoff now after the penalty mark-off gave Delta first and 10 at their own the Millard 21-yard line. Ryder on that carry. And there's going to be a timeout called here quickly because we've got a player down for the Millard Eagles. Looks again to be a cramp. Nice pickup by Riding, not Ryder, but Riding back in the game, number 33. Out of the game is Watcott will come out of the game. He's had a big game, but he's got a cramp. He's going to have to come out.
Yeah.
Be a 2nd down and 5. And now we're going to have another. Okay, we got a time issue up here. 34. Going to have to reset the clock now. They're talking to the coaches instead of the guy on the clock. 44.
44.
So they're going to reset the clock to 44 seconds in the third quarter. 28-8 for the Millard Eagles. And it's kind of degenerated now into a whole bunch of nonsense right now as everybody's messed up. Delta will have it whenever this all gets sorted out and back together. We'll have it 2nd and 5 or 2nd and 6 from about the 17-yard line. And they will be in the inverted bone, Riding back in the game as we mentioned. Ball comes back, give to the first back through as they've got some things going up front now with that quick dive. Taken down by number 51 of the Millard Eagles, and number 51 would be Hunter Gamble. Pickup of a couple on the play. Be 3rd down and long 3. 3rd down and long 3.
And I believe, again, that was Rhett Shamo on the carry. As
ball on the 15-yard line now. Delta again in the inverted. No, it looks like to me now still inverted bone. No, power I to the right-hand side. Give to the first back. No, tripped up by quarterback, kept it, and then tripped on his own guard's feet. He had a hole, but he couldn't get through it because he got tripped up on the guard's feet, and so he's not going to get much of a gain. In fact, he may have lost a bit of a yard.
Yep.
More importantly, they lose it down. It'll be 4th down now and at least 5 from this vantage point.
Loss of a couple, so
you figure you got 2 downs to make 3 yards. You can do that.
Yeah.
But now you got 1 down to make 5. That'll be the end of the third quarter now. Score 28-8. Let's go back to studio real quick.
Millard County residents are accustomed to friendly service, quality grocery items, and convenient prices at Dwayne's Foodtown in Fillmore. Dwayne's Foodtown prides itself on providing the choicest cuts of meat in their meat department, assuring they offer the freshest produce available, and providing the best value on every grocery item in the store. Stop in and discover for yourself the hometown service and attention that you deserve at Dwayne's Foodtown, located at 375 South Main in Fillmore. Proud to support the Eagles this year.
Stop in at Service Drug in Delta or Fillmore and take advantage of the summer specials going on with KitchenAid appliances. From now through September 30th, purchase a KitchenAid stand mixer and receive a free ice cream maker attachment, a $79 value. Or purchase a KitchenAid juicer and receive a $50 prepaid Visa card. Stop by today and start saving at Service Drug, where we're dedicated to your good health and good value. Service Drug, 215 West Main Street, Delta, 40 North Main Street, Fillmore. Experience service first at Service Drug in Delta and Fillmore.
Welcome back to Fillmore, Utah. Tonight's action again as we get ready to start the fourth quarter between the Delta Rabbits and the Millard Eagles. 28-8 for the Millard Eagles at this point in time. Delta threatening. However, they have a 4th down and 5 from the Millard 16-yard line. Power I formation set to the right-hand side. Snap comes back. Fake the give. Looking to pass the ball. Got a receiver out there. Through his hands. A little bit overthrown through his hands and incomplete. And Millard will take over, and that receiver went down and stayed down with cramps. You got to wonder if how much that had to play with the fact he couldn't reach up and catch the ball if he's cramping up.
You know, Dennis, he was looking for that receiver at the goal line, and if he could have seen the back of the end zone, I think it might have been Dakota Dutson. He had a receiver coming across the back of the end zone, and he was open. It was Dakota, but just could not see him over the top of the bigs. Went underneath to this intended receiver, and I think that's Ridge Peterson.
Ridge Peterson, number 3, with the cramps, and he's trying to get off. He takes about 3 steps each time, then has to stop and stretch, then grabs 3 more steps and stops and stretches again. So he's trying to get off. He's got some help now. Looks like it's worked out, and he's walking a little bit better and will be able to jog off. But, yeah, you know, quarterbacks need to figure that out. read where the defense is and look backside, that's usually your open receiver.
Yeah, kind of had a drag receiver coming across the second one deep, and he was open, but easy for me to see up here.
Yeah. Snap comes back. It's an errant snap. He finally gets the ball out to Brunson. Brunson gets around the first tackler, tries to reverse field, and all he did really was give more and more territory away as he's going to be caught for a big loss back there by the Delta Rabbits. He'll move that ball clear back inside the 10 or to the 10-yard line.
Wow.
Big loss on the play, and it'll be second down now. And, you know, this is where Millard, you just don't want to give the ball back quick, and you don't want to give it on a turnover down deep. Millard will approach the line of scrimmage once again in the inverted bone. And no motion this time. Give to the second back through, and that'll be Brunson, but Brunson's not going to get a whole lot out of it.
Another flag, too.
Is a flag down in the middle of the field?
Yep.
This is either a holding on the Millard Eagles or it's a face mask.
I think it's going to be a face mask.
And you got a Delta Rabbit walking back there cussing himself, so I think it's on him. He knows. And it is a face mask call, but is it the 5 or the 15-yarder?
Yeah, that's too bad.
First down.
That's too bad because there was no need for it. They had the runner bottled up and was going down.
Yeah, and that is a 15-yard penalty, automatic first down. It'll move the ball to the 28-yard line of the Millard Eagles, and it gets them out of the shadow of their own end zone, a little bit of breathing room now. Lots of kids reaching down and grabbing feet and stretching. A lot of cramping going on out there apparently. Millard will come to the line of scrimmage once again in the inverted bone. Double wide receivers, one each way. Fake to the first back, quick pitch to the backside. Brunson outside, getting to the corner. He's hit there and taken down. And that's a great play by number 11 for Delta High School, because Jake Day, not only did he make the tackle, but he was taking on the blocker, and had the blocker on one shoulder and was able to reach out and grab the running back with the other and take him down. So that's a great play by Jake Day. Limits it to a 2-yard pickup.
Jake he's had a nice game here tonight, you know, and he's I believe he's just a sophomore besides, so learning on the fly here tonight, but he's had a good game.
A lot of young ones playing. Motion this time, Robinson across the formation, fake the first back, quarterback keeps it. He's on the corner on the outside. He's hit by one, finally gets away from him, lunges forward. A bit of a hit there. And he's taken down by number 21 for Delta, and that's Rhett.
That's Rhett Shamo doing it on the defensive side, too. Rhett's been a real bright spot tonight for the Rabbits.
Candidate for a Player of the Game nomination right there, him and the Draper kid.
Absolutely.
Tremendous game. That moves the ball up to the 36-yard line. It'll be third down and a long one for the Millard Eagles. And they'll come back once again in the inverted bone. No motion this time. Now they'll send Jackson in motion, and a penalty flag, and he's patting his left side. That means Delta was offsides. And they'll move it forward 5 yards, giving Millard the first down. And
caught in his own game.
Yeah, so many times Delta has hurt themselves offensively with the penalty. On this drive, they're killing themselves defensively with the penalties.
You needed a stop desperately right there on a third down and about 2 or 3, and
Millard has moved the ball some 25 yards, and 20 of it has been on penalties.
Right.
So Millard will come again in the inverted bone. Once again, this time Jackson Wardle on motion forward to give to the first back through. He's going to be hit and dropped immediately. There's nothing there for the first back, and that's Jesse Robinson. Any flag down there could have been, because the running back turned up early on motion, but no call is made. Loss of 1 on the play. It'll be second down and 11.
But with under 9 to go now, Dennis, it's obviously a huge uphill battle.
That's the thing in favor for the Millard Eagles right now, is that, you know, that Delta has a long ways to go, needing 3 scores in less than a quarter to make it happen. Jackson Wardle in motion across the formation. Quick pitch deep to Brunson. Brunson's being chased there. Gets away from one tackler. Gets to the outside. Slips and falls down in the hands of number 4 for the Delta Rabbits.
That's Dakota Dutson.
And but making that play happen, I believe, was 52 from his nose position. The big guy, Jansen Manus pushed him out, made him go deeper, blew that play apart.
And going to call a chop block on the play. So
okay. And
obviously, I think Delta will accept the penalty here.
Yeah, the officials have completed and thrown more passes than either team has thrown or even combined with these yellow flags. Their arms should be getting tired.
Well, they've had a workout, haven't they?
Yeah, their right arms will all be in ice after
and
this
I really
game is
thought
over.
last week we would see a lot of that up where we were, where it was just the first game of the season. We really didn't. We didn't see a lot of flags, but boy, tonight there's been a bunch.
Yeah. So a chop block looks like they're going to decline it.
Okay, and I
leave
said
the
obviously
ball.
they would, and they would take it, but they're not.
A 5-yard loss and the down, so they'll take that, and it'll give Millard now a third down, and 15.
And the reason they didn't take the penalty is because you're right. It was a loss of about 5 on the play. So
and the down.
Let's take the loss. See if we can't get our defense off the field here. They need to stop on third down.
Inverted bone, no motion. Looked like a counter, but nobody got there. Now you've got the quarterback on the corner. He elects to keep it and run. He's going to get the first down plus some as he cuts back to the inside. And he looked like he was looking to pass the ball, tucked it and ran, and he's going to move the ball across half midfield all the way down to the Delta 40, and that's kind of a backbreaker for the Delta Rabbits.
How about 24 yards on the run? And the thing I really liked about what he did there, he did have a receiver out in front of him open, but there was no need to throw it because there was no defender. So why take the chance to put it in the air? I'll just keep it, and got what he needed and then some.
Running back mentality, because that's where he's played all of his life. So 1st and 10 now. Delta jumps, no flag, across the formation motion. Handoff to the second back, Brunson. He's going to be hit immediately in the backfield, in fact, by number 86 for the Delta Rabbits. And number 86, looking at the charts, do we have 86? Is that one of the ones we don't even have? Nice play, however, as he
Brandon Cahoon, coach.
Brandon Cahoon. And that's a great play by him, and it's a loss on the play of a yard and a half for the Millard Eagles. It'll bring up a second down, and we'll call it 12.
202 yards rushing now for the Eagles on the night.
Putting up some yards now. They'll put motion Jesse Robinson across the formation. Quick pitch
wow.
as the quarterback's going down to the ground. He kicks that ball out, and that's a great athletic play by the quarterback to even get rid of that ball. It would be a loss on the play, but it could have been a bigger loss as the pitch goes back to Brunson. He runs off the right side and will be taken down out there at, we'll call it the 44-yard line.
And a lot of quarterbacks, if they try that ball's behind the receiver or it's on the ground. He's just athletic enough that he made, even though he's just about parallel with the grass, he put it right on the money.
Yep. And again, great plays. The last two plays by the interior part of that Delta Rabbit line is they're making penetration and destroying any pattern for the Millard Eagles or any chance to make anything happen. They're up 5 on the line now. There's the Delta Rabbits. Fake, quarterback rolling to his right, got a pass out there, pulls it down, decides to run, gets a block, gets 2 blocks, down the sideline, finally taken down by number 55 of the Delta Rabbits. But that's, again, a great individual play by the Millard Eagles. That's Russ Styler finally on the tackle. But, again, beating the first tackler in the backfield, then able to get ahead. Someone had his jersey. He tears out of that. Finally, Styler takes him down. It'll bring up a 4th down and 2.
Rich Peterson made a nice play to get in the backfield, had him, but he's so strong he stepped through the tackle. And then give Russ Styler credit. He came a long ways to finally make the tackle and save it from being a first down. He's still got to get 2 here.
4th down and 2 for the Millard Eagles. They're in the ball. Fumble the snap. Whoa. The ball's on the ground. It'll be recovered by Millard, but that's academic because it will not be a first down, and Delta will take over on downs. The running back for Millard fell on the ball. I think that's Jackson Wardle fell on it to retain possession. But it will go over on downs to the Delta Rabbits. 5 minutes and 32 seconds. Delta in dire straits now, needing 3 scores to win this football game. And it'll be timeout on the field, and we'll take timeout here and go back to studio.
Hi, I'm Mark Huntsman, Senior Vice President of Sunrise Engineering. I would like to thank all of our loyal clients and employees who have contributed to the success of our company. Sunrise Engineering has been recently recognized nationally in the top 500 engineering firms and as a recipient of the National Client Satisfaction Award 5 years in a row. We are presently expanding at Sunrise and are looking to add engineers, surveyors, and other support staff. To join our team, visit our website or call Sunrise Engineering at 800-560-6151.
The type of medical care you receive shouldn't depend on where you live. People in rural towns should receive high-quality medicine just like those in big cities. Delta Community Medical Center and Fillmore Community Medical Center both provide the same quality care and advanced technology you'd receive if you drove to the city. What they do well. Intermountain's Fillmore Community Medical Center and Delta Community Medical Center. Healing for life.
Welcome back to Millard High School. Again, we are getting down close to the end of this football game. 5 minutes and 32 seconds. Delta does take it over on downs, but they need 3 scores, folks, to win this football game. And that's tough when you're in a ball control type offense like both of these teams are. Inverted bone, fake the give to the first back through. He's going to be hit at the line of scrimmage. He will struggle forward and get a few yards out of this thing.
And once again,
Rhett Schammel.
Yep, he has really been called upon this second half and has done a nice job for Coach
Watcott
Fowles.
and Rowell, I think, in on that tackle now. Watcott back in the game as he's gotten past his problem with cramps in the legs. This time Delta will come up with trip receivers to the far side, left side, single receiver, single setback, fake the handoff, back to pass, being pressured. The quarterback's being pressured, and he's going to be taken down. He throws the ball as he's going down. I think the official is going to say he was down by contact, and on the making the sack then, in essence, was the defensive end, Kyler Rowley, who's had a good game on both sides of the ball tonight.
And how much fun is it for the Millard players at this time? They've got the big lead, so they can kind of afford to just pin their ears back and come, and that's what they're doing.
Yeah, and Delta now is going to call a timeout, so we will go back to studio again for a quick timeout as Delta tries to sort this thing out.
Want to make your HD TV even better? Centricom has the HD channels you want. Our HD DVR gives you total control of your experience. And we're always adding new channels to serve you better. Why settle for less? Get our full HD lineup, now with over 61 HD channels. Call or visit us online and get the best HD experience from Centricom.
Millard County Credit Union in Fillmore and Delta sincerely appreciate your business over the years. Not only will you find amazingly low interest rates, automobile and RV loans, checking, Visa accounts, bill pay, and debit cards, but their new Flex Teller service at millardccu.com will make it convenient to manage all your credit union accounts from home. Flex Teller is coming soon and will provide members with mobile banking and remote deposit capture. Millard County Credit Union in Delta and Fillmore, a proud sponsor of this sports broadcast.
Well, yeah. Welcome back to Millard High School. Delta get on the attack after the timeout. Quarterback's back to pass. They got the screen set up. Looks like a good one. A block is missed.
Yep.
And as a result of that missed block, that looked like that was going to go a long, long way. And one of the Millard players beat the block out there. I thought it was Jesse Robinson. Could have been Derek Brunson, however. But whoever it was beat the block and saved a huge gain. There was a nice gain by Delta, but it'll be 4th down now and about 7 or 8 from the 35-yard line of the Delta Rabbits, and they basically have to go here.
Yeah, and that's too bad. That's going to be another teaching moment on the game film because that should have gone for more yardage.
Oh, yeah.
That outside person just didn't sustain that block, and it ended up by just being a gain of 7, which should have been a first down.
Trips right, quarterback rolls out. He's going to keep it, though, and try to get the yardage that way. They run to the trip side, but he's not going to get enough yardage, and the ball will go over on downs with 3 minutes and 42 seconds left. And again on that tackle was Watcott. That was an interesting play where you got trips out there. You need 8 yards for a first down. That you would use the trips as a decoy and try to run off tackle with your quarterback.
Yeah, and all I can think is they were thinking Millard was thinking the same thing, and they thought maybe they could catch him off guard on that.
Watcott's had a whale of a game at that middle linebacker spot tonight, though, and he sniffed that one out and knocked it down. So now, will Millard go victory and just kneel on it 4 times, or will they try to get a first down or 2 without scoring? I don't know that they want to score anymore on their Delta.
Probably not,
Delta
but
friends.
but still 3:42, so they've got to pick up another first down, I would think.
In the pistol formation, snap comes back, and they drop back to pass. Well,
wow.
This made liars out of both of us, didn't it? The pass is complete to Marshall down around the goal lines. That's not Marshall. That's number 5 for the Millard Eagles, and that would be Caden Booth out there. Made liars out of both of us. I did not expect that.
I didn't either. We were talking about how civil the rivalry has been, and everybody's good friends. And
that could blow it up.
Stuff like that could, I guarantee it won't sit well with the coaching staff across the way. It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see how that sits.
Coach Sheriff may not get to go to reunions next summer over in Oak City. Coach Burriston can't go home. Gives Millard a first and goal, I believe, now at about the 6 or 7 yard line. They'll come up. Now they got Jesse Robinson at quarterback. They got a bunch of the younger players in there. They will give off, Brunson's not a younger player. And he will go off the left side for a few yards. And we'll pick up a few yards, inching closer. Like I say, though, they do have the backup quarterback in. A few other backups at receivers and running, not receivers, but linemen. Jesse Robinson will stay at quarterback. Again, he's great attitude. He was the quarterback heir apparent.
Sure.
They decided to make the move with Kyler Rowley. He moved out to a running back and wide receiver spot. Do anything he can to help the team succeed.
Got to give him credit, absolutely.
He'll be under center again. They'll put Wardle in motion. They may have had a penalty there, and they did as the right guard jumped. That will help the cause for the Delta Rabbits. 2:21 left in the game. They'll mark off 5 on the Millard Eagles here as the right guard jumped for the Millard Eagles. And it'll be second and goal now from about the 8-yard line.
That's my kid.
Okay, well, we've been given a number up here in the box, but we try not to read them off. His dad says he'll take care of that at home tonight later, though. Okay, and once again, they come to the line of scrimmage. Jesse Robinson under center. They'll put Daniel Whitaker in motion to the left-hand side. Give to the first back, Wardle, and he'll plow ahead for a couple of yards. Jesse signaled the sideline. Let's go outside. It's wide open, but I'm not sure that's what Coach Sheriff really wants. He'll move the ball a yard or 2. It looks like it'll be third and goal now from about the 6-yard line. In 1:44, again, I wouldn't be surprised to see them just kneel on it, let the time run out. I don't think Coach Sheriff really wants to score here. At least in the past, that's been his MO. Yeah, they're going to let the back judge start counting before they ever set the play off. Okay, he gives the signal. They'll put it in motion. Back option left-hand side. They're going to pitch to Brunson. Brunson's headed for the corner.
Wow.
And he's going to be taken down.
I think Dakota Dutson caught him, and that was a great athletic move there.
Dakota Dutson, he stays in bounds. The clock will continue to run. It'll be 4th down now and goal with a minute left on the clock. A minute left in this football game. And
that was just a foot race between a couple of pretty good athletes right there.
They are going to put Sebastian Garcia in to kick. I guess, you don't want to score, but it is an opportunity to kick a field goal and to practice that, which they have not had a chance to practice in the past. So Sebastian Garcia. Jesse Robinson now goes to the line of scrimmage, wondering what's going on. Now he comes back to hold for Sebastian Garcia.
Be about a 25-yard.
Delta jumps, no flag that I know of. The block is kicked, and it is blocked. The kick is blocked. It will go into the end zone, ruled on its own impetus, and that will be a touchback. How can that be a touchback?
Yeah, and I think so.
It'll come out to the 20-yard line. So it'll be Delta 1st and 10 with 24 seconds left at the 20-yard line, and this game is over. Don't know what Delta will do here, but this They can't catch Millard now, needing 3 scores.
No.
And Millard running a lot of the younger players out there right now. They don't have many younger ones because they have no junior class. So they go right down into their sophomore class. Delta lines up again with the trips formation to the right-hand side. Pitch now to the running back Riding, heading to the outside, and he's going to be met and taken down there on the sideline. I'll say he went out of bounds at about the 22-yard line, maybe the 24. And 18 seconds left on the clock. I really thought right there that was going to be a pitch pass. Pitch to Riding and let him throw it downfield.
He ran a long ways to pick up 3 yards.
And there again, 2 Millard players beat blocks on the outside when they weren't supposed to. And just a warning to you, get ready for the cannon because once the game ends, I expect there will be a boom.
Appreciate the heads up.
Yeah, you better be watching for it.
I can't hear out of the left ear, by the way.
I'm tired of you jumping on my lap every time that thing goes off.
Night.
Pitch to the outside to Riding. He breaks the contain. He's headed to the end zone. He might go all the way, folks. He breaks contain, headed down the 30, 25-20, and he's pulling away now. Touchdown, Delta. Riding with a, 75-yard touchdown run.
77, they say officially.
Nice run by Riding and good blocking downfield as this time the blockers got into the defensive players and knocked them off their pins, and he split the difference and ran to glory. Nice play by Riding.
So that helps the sting a little bit.
Yeah, I just pulling up the Perry Power
a
guide
little
to
bit.
See. And they picked it for 10.6. It's going to be a little bit more than that, looks like to me. Well, no, if they get the 2-point conversion, it'll be a 12-point game. That's about what Perry picked. Back to pass, the quarterback across the middle. And he about completed that to the official, but the official ducked it. It fell incomplete.
The official's got to make a better play there. That ball was right on the money. If he'll catch it, that's 2 points.
That really was. That really was. Not only that, but Millard would be glad because it was good defense. The receiver couldn't see the ball.
That's right.
That's makes the score 28-14 for the Millard Eagles with 5 seconds left. And like we say, Perry's Power Guide picked Millard as a 10.5-point favorite. So he's only off by a few points on that. And again, the Power Guide is built on statistics week to week. Wins and points move you up. Losses move you down. So Delta's score will be a little bit lower next week, and Millard's will be a little bit higher next week. And that's the way Perry's Power Guide goes.
I'm taking Mr. Perry to Vegas with me. Or James Edwards.
Well, you got to wait.
It's got to be better
Edwards,
than what I do.
Yeah, because he's calling them by intuition and doing a little bit better. So just some fun stuff. If they put it all on paper, we'd never play a game. We'd just take what's on paper, right? So you going to onside kick here if you're Delta? You got 5 seconds left.
I kind of doubt it.
You can't advance an onside kick, but you could recover it in 4 seconds and take 1 second for a run by Riding to beat Mr. Perry.
No, I think you'll see him kick this one away.
And he does, kicks it high, and it'll come down about the 15-yard line. And Miller, he stands there like he doesn't know what to do.
He was. It's okay.
A little confusing there. He acted like he'd fair caught the ball. He finally runs a little ways and drops down. Millard has won the ball game 28-14 as they double up on the Delta Rabbits. And there's the boom. You made it through that time. You didn't jump quite as bad.
Yes, but I'm going to have to go visit my hearing specialist tomorrow.
It's not your hearing specialist I'm worried about. It's the cardiologist.
Well, that too.
It's making your heart do weird things.
My goodness.
We'll be back in 3 minutes for the post-game show. I told you.
How many shells has he got left?
I don't know, but I warned you. We'll be back in 3 minutes.
Stevens Feed and Holden serves the surrounding communities in Millard County as well as farmers in central and southern Utah. They buy and sell alfalfa hay and can haul your hay to wherever it needs to go. You can be assured that you'll get the right price while receiving the service you deserve when buying and selling hay. The entire crew appreciates farmers and ranchers for their business over the years, and they're happy to contribute to the school and community as a sports booster. That's Stevens Feed and Holden, a proud supporter of Millard Athletics.
high-speed Wi-Fi. Not quite as important as running water in your home, but close. Centricom powers your Wi-Fi network with consistent speeds to keep all your gadgets going strong. Streaming video players, laptops, tablets, even smartphones, so you're never stuck with those big cell data charges. And talk about value. Just pick your speed and keep the Wi-Fi flowing in your home at a great low price. Upgrade your internet today. Call or visit Centricom.com to learn more.
How long has it been since you performed at your peak? Dr. Jordan Meekham at Peak Performance Chiropractic and Sports Rehab Center in Delta wants to help you reach your peak performance in everything you do. Whether it's at work, the golf course, the field, the hardwood, in the mountains, or maybe most importantly, playing with your kids, Dr. Meekham provides services for everything from back pain, headaches, shoulder, elbow, and wrist pain, foot and ankle injuries, and pain that comes with pregnancy. Visit PerformPeak.com to schedule your appointment today at Peak Performance in Delta or call 435-864-2000.
The government and community leaders in Millard County today were molded into the people they have become by the experiences and opportunities during their high school years. The same stands true for the future leaders of Delta City. That's why the City Council and Mayor of Delta are thoroughly invested in providing opportunities for the students of Delta High School to assist them in reaching their potential. Delta City appreciates the opportunity to support Delta High School academics and this Delta Rabbit sports broadcast.
Vince Lombardi once said, "The measure of who we are is what we do with what we have." The quote rings true whether applied to our country, our schools, our homes, or on the field of play. We applaud our student athletes for their hard work and determination on the field and in the classroom. Brought to you by Sunrise Engineering, promoting excellence in sports and education. Visit us at sunrise-eng.com. That's sunrise-eng.com.
When I was thinking about going back to school, I got pretty nervous, just knowing I had a young family and money was tight for us. As a mother, online courses were perfect for my busy schedule. One of the things that was huge for me was how affordable this program was. Without the online courses, I know I wouldn't be able to finish school or transfer to a major university. I will always be grateful for Snow College in helping me reach my goals and helping me set the pathway for my future.
Welcome back to Fillmore, Utah. Again, the completion of this football game. Millard defeating Delta 28-14 in a game I think both teams can learn a ton from, particularly Delta, because really this wasn't, when you look at the statistics, Delta was all over this game and had chances had they not turned the ball over and had key penalties at the wrong time. Other than that, this is a totally different ball game.
Yeah, early in the game, a couple of penalties cost them on drives.
Yep.
You remember right off the bat, we talked about it. Delta had a possession, had to kick it away. Millard had a possession, couldn't do anything. They had to kick it away, and he turned one over on the punt that rolled deep into Delta territory. Delta could not recover from that. You talked about flipping the field. That's what happened, and with that short field, Millard was able to capitalize on it, got a quick score, and got another quick score. In fact, you see Millard play all the time, and you can probably comment on this better than I can, but I doubt that you see that many quick scores from a Millard team like you saw tonight. They had a drive with one play for a score. They had two other drives of 2 plays with scores. The big offense, the big plays were here tonight for Millard. They weren't for Delta.
Well, and that would be one of those areas that we talked about for Millard, even though they scored 28 points. But an area of concern is we are not sustaining drives. We hit big on 3 plays. There was one sustained type of drive, but the other 3 touchdowns were from big plays long ways out, including an 80-yard touchdown run, a 50-yard pass play, and a 37 or 34-yard run.
Absolutely.
So Millard that's great. That shows they've got athleticism, quickness, and some real keys, but they need to feel good about the fact that they can sustain a drive over a long period of time with lots of plays, and they have not shown that necessarily thus far. Delta, on the other hand, showed many sustained drives. I guess you can't call them sustained because eventually they broke down on penalties or turnovers, but that would be a concern for the Millard Eagles, is can we, against a good team, sustain a drive long term? Well,
and if you're Delta, as you said, you're going to look at it and go, you had a great game out of Rhett Shamo tonight. he gave you some good, tough yards, and then he turns around and plays defense and does a nice job. You saw Dallin Draper again there for a period of time. He kind of took over the offense for him. So, you know, you look at that and you take some bright spots away from there. And for Millard, their quarterback there, he's just getting better and better, it looks to me. He's learning the position. He's taking those skills that he learned as a running back, and now he's combining those with quarterback skills, and I see the sky as being the limit for him.
Yeah, and there's a huge difference between last week and this week, and I think that's just what you said. It's in the decisions, but it's also the realization, I don't have to give this ball up. If it's open, I'm going to take it and go. Use my running back skills.
A lot of first-year young quarterbacks are going to go, I'm going to throw this thing. I got guys open. But I was impressed with him tonight, especially that play there. And that was a big one because that got him a first down on a play that they might have had to turn it back to Delta.
This is the Sunrise Engineering post-game show. Again, Sunrise Engineering, a local entity that we like to claim here, began and grew from Fillmore, now is all over the Intermountain West with offices all over the place. Sunrise Engineering, they promote athletic and academic excellence. Visit them for your needs or just to see what they have to offer at sunrise-eng.com. Let's go back to the studio for a 1-minute break, and then we'll be back with some statistics and players of the game, and we'll say sayonara at that point.
With internet service from Centracom, you get a fast, reliable connection to a world of information and inspiration. Just choose the bandwidth package that fits your needs and your budget. Every package delivers consistent speeds that bring the best of the web into your life. And we offer local, over-the-phone technical and professional IT support. It's why Centracom is now our area's #1 internet provider. Add internet to your bundle and save. Call or visit Centracom.com today.
This sports broadcast is brought to you by Materion Natural Resources in Delta, Utah. Materion is the world's primary source of high-quality beryllium concentrate, which is used in nuclear test reactors, military aircraft, satellites, scientific telescopes, electrical connectors, and medical devices. Materion works closely with government agencies and reclamation plans and to comply with pollution standards in the Topaz Mountain areas. The company and employees at Materion Natural Resources fully support the schools and communities in Millard County.
Hi, I'm Mark Huntsman, Senior Vice President of Sunrise Engineering. I would like to thank all of our loyal clients and employees who have contributed to the success of our company. Sunrise Engineering has been recently recognized nationally in the top 500 engineering firms and as a recipient of the National Client Satisfaction Award 5 years in a row. We are presently expanding at Sunrise and are looking to add engineers, surveyors, and other support staff. To join our team, visit our website or call Sunrise Engineering at 800-560-6151.
Welcome back once again to Fillmore. This is the Sunrise Engineering post-game show. Dennis Aldridge and Ken Nielsen bringing you the information at this point in time. Again, Sunrise Engineering, a tremendous local business that has branched out throughout the whole Intermountain West, it seems. They do a lot to help the local and the young people throughout the whole area. Turn some time over to Ken Nielsen now for some statistics, and then we'll have the players of the game.
Appreciate that, Dennis. As we look through some of the numbers here in this game, a lot of rushing attempts, and we expected that from both teams. For Delta, first of all, they had 45 different rushing attempts here on the evening for 251 yards. Throwing the ball, not so successful here tonight, 2 for 10 for just 22 yards, and Millard defensively really stepped it up, had 3 interceptions on the night, and a couple of those were huge when Delta seemed to be driving down the field. They pick it off, turn it around, and go back and get a score themselves. 273 total yards for the Rabbits here tonight. Millard on the other side, 32 rushing attempts for 215 yards. Throwing the ball, very efficient, 3 for 4 for 91 yards and a touchdown.
In this offense, you don't have to complete a lot, but if you're efficient and get a lot of yards at it, it backs the defense up.
Absolutely. 306 total yards on the night. And Millard, they just did so many good things. They've got several weapons there, and it starts with the quarterback, and then they've got 2 or 3 backs that can just flat out get out and go, and I was impressed with that. Delta, I think they found a few things they liked tonight. I thought Rhett Chameau did a nice job. He had a touchdown run earlier in the game. And then we talked about Riding coming in. Riding got quite a few carries in the first half, and then Dallin Draper came in, carried the load. We didn't see Riding for a long time. And then right at the end of the game, Riding comes in and busts one for 77 yards and a touchdown. They've got a couple of backs back there that are quick. They're just young, and they'll learn the game.
You're seeing the strategy then. They're saving Reading for the last few minutes to score all the points.
That one last Hail Mary from the ground.
Unfortunately, if you're down 3 scores, that doesn't work, right?
Going to have to work on that.
Good game. Just for information, next week Delta will play at home. They have Emory coming to town. Is that a league game now, or?
Let me look at that. I was reading off.
Because
it is not. Emory is in. Emory is in. I think the 3A North is where they're at.
So it's not a league game yet. It is a practice game. But again, as you're trying to develop and get ready for the league, it is a big game. Delta now with 2 losses, 0-2 on the season, needs to regroup. They need to get a win before they get into that region competition, because that will be tough. And they'll need to get going.
And I was going to look for a score with Emory, because last week, as I mentioned, they put 57 on the board. Tonight, into the second quarter, they hadn't scored. So we'll look here real quick and just see how their game might be coming along. Here it is. End of the third quarter, Canyon View 38 to Emory's 12. So that's an opponent. Last year, Delta went to Emory and got a win there. So that's one I'm sure that they'll look at and say, maybe we can get healthy right here.
Well, Emory, again, last week scored a lot of points, but they also gave up a lot of points, and they're giving up a lot of points again tonight. So, defense maybe not their strong point, so Delta can really get some things going on them.
And you said Beaver is Millard's next opponent.
Millard will go to Beaver next Friday night.
They've got 3 minutes to go in the ball game. Beaver leads Kanab 14-13.
Those are always dogfights down there, too. Just for information, I believe the Millard Beaver game next week, I believe, is the game of the week. So there'll be interviews during the day down in Beaver, and be sure to get there early. Seating will be limited. That's a big game. Beaver picked to be number 1 out of that southern region, and so it will be on radio and TV. We won't get the chance to bring it to you. The Beaver announcers will bring that to you, and they do a super excellent job, and of course it'll be on TV also. Player of the game. I think on the Millard side we're going to go with 2. Obviously the Brunson kid, Derek Brunson, tremendous game rushing the football, a couple of long touchdown runs.
Yep.
He also did a ton of work on the defensive end. And the reason I'm giving 2 is because you got on the defensive side, you don't usually give one to a lineman or a defense, but in this case, Cole Watcott did so much on both sides of the football. You never call his number on offense because he's blocking, but he's there making the big blocks, and then the amount of tackles and things he makes out of that middle linebacker spot. Tremendous job. So Cole Watcott and Derek Brunson, player of the game.
Appreciate that, and I agree with you there. They don't get enough recognition. That's where it happens, is down there in the trenches. So Congratulations there. And for Delta, we want to thank McDonald's of Delta as they supply our player of the game as we get a value meal that we're able to give to a young man each week. And tonight, I think you'd agree with me, Rhett Shamo seemed to really carry the load for the Rabbits tonight, both offensively and defensively. He had that touchdown in the first half. So we'll congratulate Rhett Shamo as our McDonald's player of the game tonight.
Good job. Once again, we thank the Centricom and the Mid-Utah Radio for making these possible. I appreciate Ken Nielsen, work with him. It's fun to work with people like him that, that quality and do what they do a good job, and you feel comfortable doing it. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
And thanks to all of our sponsors and for Sunrise Engineering Post-Game Show. Until next time, this is Dennis Aldridge for Ken Nielsen saying goodbye.
You've been listening to exciting high school football action on South Central Utah's sports leaders, Mid-Utah Radio and Centricom Channel 10. This sports broadcast has been brought to you by sports-minded sponsors throughout South Central Utah. Join us next time for more exciting high school football action on Centricom Channel 10 and Mid-Utah Radio.